Douluo Dalu summoning the Holy Spirit Sect. From the beginning, this video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyright or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 126, Division System. The second day of the Continental Cup National War. Compared to the national war between the Tianxing Empire and the Douluo Principality, the audience can still see a match of instant kills. Even resistance can be seen in the game. But on the second day, when the Ming Empire played against the Xiaoyao Autonomous Prefecture, everyone saw a series of extremely tragic scenes. There were 7 games in the Youth Potential Cup and 7 games in the Adult Champion Cup, a total of 14 games. Every game was a match of instant kills, and the average game lasted no more than 1 minute. In particular, the strongest strong attack system of the Xiaoyao Autonomous Prefecture Adult Champion Cup team, an 18-year-old, November, 41st level Soul Master. When facing the strongest strong attack system of the Ming Empire, he didn't even have time to release his soul ring and was instantly killed. The strange thing is that the Ming Empire's strong attack system not only did not use the soul ring, but even did not use the martial soul. The game of the Ming Empire's strong attack system shocked all the contestants, and they were all dumbfounded. Is this the real strength of the Ming Empire? TSK. When it comes to the national war, the strength of the top 2 countries in the Continental Cup is really shocking. At the end of the Continental Cup, in fact, most of the gaps will not be very big. After all, there'll always be a few geniuses in the whole continent, and these geniuses also have the bonus of age. Stuck at the age of 10, 18, about to be 11, 19. But we must admit that they are the absolute leaders of this age group. But I didn't expect that there would be such a strong person in the Ming Empire. It's simply not the same stage as the same age. Soul Sect, it's said in seconds. On the court, Nian'an glanced at the opponent who fell to the ground and turned to leave the stage. The Ming Empire won 14 games in 14 games. All members of the Barak Autonomous Region were eliminated. Since there is still time left today, we decided to continue screening the competition today. As the referee of the organizer announced, the screening of the competition continued. The third round of the Continental Cup, Tianxing Kingdom vs. Wuhan City Wuhan Hall. Tianxing Kingdom was established not long ago. Although it was independent from Xingluo Empire and inherited many good things from Xingluo Empire, it was still the younger brother of Xingluo Empire and a dog of Xingluo Empire. In the All-Continent Advanced Soul Master Academy competition held by Xingluo Empire, the first batch of seeded players in China were sent out. It was equivalent to Antonio's second batch playing against the first batch of main players. The opponent was still Wuhan Hall. Wuhan Hall had the most Soul Masters on the continent, except for the Ming Empire. In addition, more than 10 years later, there were hundreds of Soul Saints, nearly 100 Soul Duos, and the number of titled Duos was also the largest on the continent. It can be said that Wuhan Hall never lacked talented players, because it was hard to say that their fathers and grandfathers were certain titles, Soul Duos, Soul Saints. In addition to the layout of Wuhan Hall, the whole continent was basically in charge of awakening martial souls in Wuhan Hall. Soul Masters with a little bit of talent were all drawn over. So, the end of the last 14 games. The final victory was also slowly decided. Continental Cup National War, Tianxing Kingdom vs. Wuhan Autonomous City Wuhan Hall, 14 games, all lost. This time, the audience saw no more instant kills, but all-round crushing, punches to the flesh, blood flowing. So far, the 3 strongest groups of the Continental Cup have just been released. Won the top record of 14 games and 14 wins. As for the remaining countries, they were evenly divided. Western Asia. Tianxing Kingdom vs. Pelag's Kingdom equals the final situation is 4/3, Western Asia. 4 people from Tianxing Kingdom won, and 3 systems from Pelag's Kingdom survived. Kilacris Kingdom vs. Western Asia. Silver's Kingdom. On the competition stage, the fight went on, and finally the people of the 2 countries aroused national indignation. Kill him, suppress him to death, Marquis Daxes, don't hesitate, kill him. Stand up, don't surrender, die on the ring and don't lose to Colonel K's people. The 2 countries were 64-65, and the Kingdom of Kilacris narrowly won, playing a 4-3. The last Western Alliance. Hargunde's Kingdom vs. the Heavenly Kingdom. The 2 countries have no grudges, and even no contact. In the end, the Hargunde's Kingdom won a small victory, and also played a 4-3 record with the Heavenly Kingdom. In fact, the gap between other countries is not particularly large. After all, they are all in the kingdom stage. The Western Alliance is divided into groups, which is not a pile of shit. VIP room no. 1. Finally the screening is over. Zhukinghe's eyes flashed with golden light. The screening of the national war in the past few days can be said to have made the Heavenly Dough Empire a fortune. It can't be said that it is a small goal every day. It can only be said that after opening a casino for betting, it is very close. Of course, this is not pure profit. This is also thanks to the Ming Empire. In cities large and small across the continent, projectors are connected, and special betting places are set up. People from all over the continent can still watch the game and bet in real time. It concerns their own country, so they will support it with money. The Xingluo Empire next door saw the grand occasion of the Heavenly Dough Empire Continental Cup, and the back teeth were broken. What made them speechless was that the Spirit Hall had been involved at some point. There was no news about their Xingluo Empire. Zhukinghe looked at the gradually filling Tiandou treasury, and his confidence grew stronger and stronger. Tiandou Square. The endless audience gathered again. In fact, there were huge display screens around Tiandou Square, and a certain fee was charged to enter Tiandou Square. The closer you were to the front row, the more expensive it was. But were the citizens who followed the home team and came from afar to watch the game short of money? Of course not. In fact, just this group of spectators watching here for a day could bring in over 1 million yuan in revenue for Tiandou Square. Of course, these were just small amounts of money. On the competition stage, as the referee slowly walked out, the contestants from all countries slowly quieted down. The crowds around the Fighting Spirit Arena, looking at the contestants on the screen or in front of the huge competition stage, also slowly quieted down. After a long week of screening, the final screening of the top 12 of the Continental Cup is ended. Although the result was not what the referee team expected, we have also come up with a corresponding solution. Sizzle. Swish, swish, swish. The next moment, a huge game map slowly appeared on all the huge display screens. To put it simply, this game map is the world map of Douluo continent. Next, due to the shortage of manpower in each country, our referee team finally came up with a solution. That is, the war zone system. The picture on the huge display screen began to move slowly. Southern Division. The 4 people from the Kingdom of Kilakris and the 3 people from the Kingdom of Pelage form the first group of the Southern Division. The 4 people from the Kingdom of Hadrian and the 3 people from the Kingdom of Heaven Realm form the second group of the Southern Division. Northern Division. The 7 people from the Tiandou Empire form the first group of the Southern Division. The 3 people from the Kingdom of Silvers and the 4 people from the Kingdom of Hargondays form the second group of the Southern Division. Eastern Division. The 7 people from the Ming Empire form the first group of the Eastern Division. The 7 people from the Wuhan Hall of the Wuhan Autonomous City form the second group of the Eastern Division. Chapter 127. Advance to the finals. Looking at the final distribution, Nian'an raised his eyebrows. It must be said that the Tiandou Empire knows how to attract traffic. Northern Division Group 1 Tiandou Empire first round, versus Southern Division Group 1, Kilakris and Pelage. Eastern Division Group 1 Ming Empire second round, versus Southern Division Group 2, Western, Hadrian and Tianxing Kingdom, finally. Eastern Division Group 2, Spirit Hall third round, versus Northern Division Group 2, Western, Silvers and Western Hargondays. Nian'an thought that he would meet the Spirit Hall team in advance. Unfortunately, Xiaoyao did not do so. Obviously, she did not want to give up Nian'an's Ming Empire's popularity. Otherwise, it would be difficult for the Ming Empire to retreat unscathed against the Spirit Hall. At least, it would lose a few places. In fact, this arrangement is simply inappropriate. One group against 2 groups, 2 groups against 1 group. How can 1 group in the north against 1 group in the south? In fact, this is indeed the work of the Tiandou Empire. They don't want to give up the heat of the final of the Ming Empire. They also don't want to give up the hatred of the 6-3, Kilakris Kingdom. That's right, the Tiandou Empire has a grudge with the Kilakris Kingdom. A few years ago, because Colonel Ke launched an invasion, Tiandou, as one of the few 3 empires on the continent and the guardian of the continent, sent troops. At the time, because Colonel challenged 97% or 80% of the countries on the continent, there was unrest in the Xingluo Empire, and the Tiandou Empire broke up with NATO. The army had no way to retreat and many people died. Therefore, the people of the Tiando Empire are inherently unhappy with the people of Killikris and have their own ethnic hatred. In this case, you don't have to go to the battlefield, you only need to spend a little money to support the empire that gives birth to itself and feeds itself. Do you support it? Tiando Empire. The empire is in financial difficulties now. If you only need to V50, the empire can form a million-strong army to defeat the enemy. Do you want to spend 50 gold soul coins to revive your relatives and defend the country? Obviously, the people of Tiando Empire are very simple, and compared with other countries, the people here live a richer life. You must know that this is Tiando City, a big city where every inch of land is worth a lot of money, the Pearl of the North. On the first day, the first round of the Continental Cup, a group of Tiando Empire in the northern competition area played against a group of southern competition area. The situation was very intense. But the Youth Potential Cup remained stable. Xiaoyao, who was agile and aggressive, finally won the final victory half an hour after the game by relying on a higher soul power than the opponent. And Tianxing. At the age of 8, a soul power of more than 20 levels is indeed a very good talent. However, because he could get here, it was basically because of his age and soul power bonus. The age of 8 has limited Tianxing's performance. In addition to the soul power of barely level 21, he has gradually begun to feel exhausted. Because his opponent was 10 years old, almost 11 years old, and his spirit power was higher than his. Although his martial spirit had been strengthened, it was just an ordinary blue-silver grass that had not yet been awakened. The quality of his martial spirit was also difficult to compare with others. In the end, he had no choice but to use Ghost Shadow Mirage, Mysterious Heaven Skill, Mysterious Jade Hand, Purple Demon Eye, and barely won. As soon as Tianxing won and stepped down, the master came over. "Old teacher." Tianxing hesitated to speak. The master shook his head. "Xiao-san, do you feel that the game has started to get harder?" Tianxing did not speak, but just nodded silently. "This is normal. You have to know that you are only 8 years old now, while your opponent is already 10, almost 11. His spirit power is higher than yours, and his spirit quality is also top-notch on the continent. Believe me, if you are their age, no one would be your opponent at the same age. After you reach level 30, your blue-silver grass spirit will also make a qualitative leap, and it will not necessarily lag behind others in quality at the time." At this point, the master turned around and patted Tianxing's shoulder, looking up at the sky at a 45-degree angle. With a blue-silver grass spirit, you can persist to this point. In fact, you're already very good. In fact, Tianxing's current achievements have already made the master very satisfied. Before, the master just wanted to make a name for himself, and the title of a provincial player was enough. Unexpectedly, the apprentice was too competitive and had surpassed the provincial level and reached the national level. Now he has entered the top 5 in the strongest control system of the Youth Potential Cup of the entire continent. It can be said that Tianxing's current reputation has been thoroughly established. After all, it is not easy for a blue-silver grass spirit to get into such a top event. Meanwhile, Oscar defeated the food-type soul masters from the southern group with his sausage and 2 good soul skills. In fact, food-type soul masters don't compete in fighting. That's acquired. In the Continental Cup, they compete in the strength of food functions. Looking up, Oscar saw a gorgeously dressed woman slowly walking onto the field. Swish. Suddenly, colorful light emerged. This is Pa. A middle-aged man wearing glasses slapped him on the back of his head. Don't look at it. The top auxiliary soul masters on the continent of the 7 treasure-glazed sect are not something we can touch. After a day of competition, the results of the first round of the Continental Cup came out. Although the Tiando Empire is powerful, it's impossible not to lose in a competition. The Youth Potential Cup lost a defense type and a healing type. The Adult Champion Cup lost a healing and a food type. People from these 2 types are scarce. As for why the defense type soul masters in the Youth Potential Cup lost, it was purely because of their carelessness. The next day, the second round of the Continental Cup, Eastern Division Group 1 vs. Southern Division Group 2. In the front row, Grandmaster stared at the competition stage. Xiao-san, watch carefully, learn well, know yourself and know your enemy, and you will never be in danger in 100 battles. If my prediction is correct, the control system of the Ming Empire is likely to be your strongest enemy. 3. At the moment when Grandmaster opened his mouth, a huge ice phoenix suddenly appeared, and a large area of the competition stage was covered with ice and snow. A burst of white mist flashed by, leaving only a human-shaped ice sculpture on the scene. Xiaobinja walked slowly off the stage with her short white legs. Tianxing's pupils shrank sharply when he saw this scene. Ice Phoenix. Grandmaster nodded silently. If you face her later, remember not to force an attack. It's summer now. She wants to activate her spirit skills to lower the temperature, so she will use more spirit power than you. In this way, even if your spirit power is less than hers, under the natural advantage of the weather, your starting point is almost the same. You can rely on your positioning, steps, to try to reduce her spirit power. Hearing this, Tianxing nodded seriously. Got it, teacher. Nian'an, Yilangalan. In the Adult Champion Cup, Nian'an made a good start for Ming Empire, and it was still a one-shot kill. The other people in Ming Empire were also very competitive and all won. In the end, Tianxing Kingdom surrendered in despair. All wins, the first group of Ming Empire in the Eastern Division actually directly defeated the second group of the Southern Division. Next was the Spirit Halls. Fortunately, in the Spirit Hall Adult Championship Cup, they defeated everyone in Group 2 of the Northern Division and finally won. Ahem. Chapter 128 Semi-Finals. It's already the semi-finals, and you tell me that they will be sent to the finals. The audience at Tianxing Square was dumbfounded. Although it's hard to get into the finals from 12 to 6 and 6 to 3, you can draw lots, or use other reasons. Isn't your reason a bit far-fetched? In fact, even if it's not this reason today, there will be other reasons. Not for anything else, because this has been predetermined. On the competition stage. After hearing that the Ming Empire team was sent to the finals, and the reason was so far-fetched, many people were stunned. Then they led their home team without any hesitation, protest, or even questioning, and took the team down directly. In the end, the contestants of Tianxing Empire and Crease had no objections. Witten Hall and NATO had no objections. Many spectators at Tianxing Square saw that the actual contestants had no objections, and in the end, this farce was suppressed in its infancy. Great. That's great. I didn't expect that we didn't have to play the semi-finals with the people from the Spirit Hall of the Heaven-Do Empire, and were directly promoted to the finals. God bless my Ming Empire. To be promoted, all this is inseparable from everyone's efforts. Come on, everyone, for the glory of the Empire. In the distance, Nian'an silently watched everything in the private room. God bless the Ming. Everyone's efforts. In this regard, Nian'an just smiled and said nothing. It can only be said that this has long been destined. Because this is the price for the Spirit Hall to successfully participate in the Continental Cup. The Heaven-Do Empire and the Spirit Hall must obey for free. Do you really think that you can become the title sponsor of the Continental Cup by paying such a little money? Don't you see how much influence the Continental Cup has on the mainland, and how many gold soul coins are flowing in every day? Can this be counted by a little money? What does the Ming Empire lack from your Spirit Hall? If it weren't for the fact that Zhu Qinghe, the current crown prince of the Heavenly Do Empire, had a secret with the Spirit Hall and was willing to use the back door for the Spirit Hall, do you think the Spirit Hall could participate in the Continental Cup? Zhu Qinghe couldn't refuse the Spirit Hall's request. If the Spirit Hall had to participate in the Continental Cup, Nian'an could only do something about the Continental Cup. The Ming Empire must be in the finals. Unfortunately, the Ming Empire entered the semi-finals without any damage, and there were still 3 teams left in the semi-finals. According to the decision, the Ming Empire was successfully promoted. The Heavenly Do Empire, and a few Kilakris finally faced the Spirit Hall and a few NATO. Continental Cup, Junior Potential Cup Control Department Semi-Finals, Heavenly Do Empire Tianxing vs. Spirit Hall Nian'an. Continental Cup Junior Potential Cup Control Department Semi-Finals First Round First Game begins. As the referee spoke, the 2 people on the competition stage moved instantly. Tianxing's face was grim. Carrying the hopes of Noting Academy, Noting City, Fazno Province, and the Heaven-Do Empire, I cannot lose. First soul skill, Blue-Silver Grass Entanglement. The blue-silver grass in Tianxing's hand instantly erupted, and countless blue-silver grass instantly stretched out on the ground of the competition stage. Rustle. Almost in an instant, the contestant Nian'an from the Spirit Hall was tightly entangled. Tianxing did not give up this opportunity, and his feet kept moving, using the ghost shadow. When he was 3 meters away from Nian'an, he raised his fist and jumped high, and quickly smashed towards Nian'an. Entangled by the vines, Nian'an slowly raised his head with difficulty. Looking at Tianxing, who was flying towards him quickly, Nian'an's eyes did not have any fear, but the corners of his mouth slowly raised in arc. Red fire ring. Whoosh! Nian'an's body flashed with 9-colored light, and the next moment, his body began to burn with blazing flames. It's bad, Tianxing secretly said, but he had no way to stop now. He could only jump into the sea of fire and give up attacking Nian'an to avoid being burned more. Hurricane ring. A 9-colored staff appeared in Nian'an's hand, and the pale yellow spirit ring on his body flashed, and a hurricane appeared instantly. The hurricane blew the flames and instantly spread across the entire competition stage. Control the overall situation. Swish swish swish. Countless people inside and outside the field stood up instantly. The absolute suppression of the martial spirit. This kid, relying on the combination of attributes, can definitely crush everything in the control system. In the fighting spirit field. Cough cough cough. Tianxing coughed violently, and his eyes were dazed. In the field full of flames, the blue-silver grass was like a waste, and it was completely useless. Because the blue-silver grass could not withstand the burning of the flames at all, even if it appeared for a few seconds, it would become fuel for the burning of the flames. Are you going to lose? No, I carry so many hopes on my shoulders. Teacher is such a conceited person, but he has such a martial spirit. He has placed all his hopes on himself. I am his most perfect work. I can't let him down and let everyone look down on him. Shout, Dad, maybe he is also watching me from the audience, I can't lose. Thinking of this, Tianxing slowly raised his head. His eyes were already blood red, because the blue-silver grass was burned, and a lot of smoke and dust appeared. After blowing into his eyes for a long time, Tianxing's eyes were filled with blood and tears. No, in this situation, we must use them to win. Off stage. Xiaoyao, admit defeat, we admit defeat. Xiaoyao, did you hear what I said? His martial spirit is absolutely restrained you. Listen to my surrender now and immediately. We still have a better future. Tianxing did not listen to the master's words. The 24 bridges on his waist flashed, and something appeared in his hand and was fiercely shot out. On the stage. Nian'an opened his arms. In the blink of an eye, the ashes turned to smoke. Before he could finish his words, he felt his body go numb, and the next moment he felt a heartache. Plop. The players fell to the ground and lost their ability to fight. The game is over. Most of the scenes were covered by flames and smoke. The referee, who could barely see a little bit of the human figure, was speaking. The moment the players fell to the ground, the winner was announced immediately. It's over? Who won? Aren't you talking nonsense? Didn't you see such a big fire? Did you see that blue-silver grass kid had the strength to resist? The next second, the referee's verdict rang out as soon as the audience finished speaking. The first round of the first match of the semi-finals of the Continental Cup Youth Potential Cup, Tianxing Empire Tianxing won. Swish. In an instant, countless people stood up. How is this possible? Countless people looked up, including the master, who was still shouting at the sidelines. On the competition stage, a boy with a charred body, burnt clothes, and all his hair was burned, slowly took difficult steps to walk down the stage. Teacher, I won, I didn't embarrass you. After saying that, Tianxing instantly fell down. Chapter 129 Final. Shadow. Shade. Shade. Give me back my hard-earned money, give me back my hard-earned money. Refund for fate matches. Refund for fate matches. Refund for fate matches. When the first match of the first round of the semi-finals ended, the square exploded instantly, with various protests. Sorry, regarding the situation in which the Spirit Hall contestant Nian'an, who had an advantage in the semi-finals, suddenly fell to the ground and lost his ability to fight, our referee team is still investigating. 1 day later, under pressure from public opinion, it was a bit too big. After all, this battle was too strange. A plant-type spirit master faced a flame spirit master who was absolutely restrained, and actually defeated him. If he defeated him in a head-on battle, no one would say anything. It's just that there is no reason for this victory, so there are such huge remarks. On the other side, the game is still going on. Compared with Tianxing's situation due to spirit quality, age restrictions, and spirit power restrictions, Xiao is much better than Tianxing. The whole journey was smooth and steady. Although there were occasional stalemates, relying on the second soul skill charm, the soul masters of the agile attack system at this stage of the Great Soul Master still killed a lot. Oscar won the semi-finals of the food system, the strongest, the 7 treasures glazed tile sect's auxiliary system. In the end, they all entered the finals with the last hope. Compared with the Tianzhou Empire and the Spirit Hall, there is nothing to compare. Except for a few special positions, they all lost. 3 days later, at the Tianzhou Square, the Continental Cup will usher in the final. Who will be the winner of the Champion Cup and who will be the 7 people in the Youth Potential Cup? Please wait and see. The final is about to begin. However, the organizers gave the winners of the semi-finals 3 days of rest and recovery. In fact, this is not to give them time to rest and recover. Instead, take advantage of these 3 days to promote the final of the Continental Cup. Up and down Tianzhou City, on the huge LCD screen, the portraits of the 28 people in the Continental Cup final flashed from time to time. The Ming Empire vs. the Spirit Hall of the Tianzhou Empire, the last hope of the Western Union and the Kingdom of Kilikris. At the same time, the fame of these 28 people also reached the peak. Eat Oscar for meals, perfect nutrition for growth. Recommendation from Oscar, one of the finalists of the Continental Cup, Youth Potential Cup Food Department. One of the 2 most promising food department soul masters in the entire continent. When everyone was understanding their opponents and finding their weaknesses, a certain profiteer took his disciples out to take endorsements and made a lot of money for a while. Oscar, I'm your teacher, your dean, and your agent, so in the future, we will split the money you earn 90% of it, right? Looking at the thousands of gold soul coins and a contract handed over by his dean, Oscar's eyes were straight. Without any hesitation, he nodded frantically and signed that contract. Dean, it's my duty. I feel a little embarrassed that you worked so hard to get only 10%. Hearing this, Flanders silently put away the contract. Oscar is my 90%, and you will 10%. This is your 10% endorsement money. Don't worry, as long as you continue to work hard, our college will get better and better. I will change you to a major college next time. Oscar's hands froze. Dean, isn't this a bit inappropriate? Looking at the thousands of gold soul coins in front of him, Oscar didn't know whether to take it or not. But in the end he took it. Oscar was originally an orphan, and he met a teacher from Shriek Academy by chance. He was reborn by the teacher of Shriek Academy. It was Flanders who took him to participate in the Continental Cup. He was able to get to where he is today. And these are thousands of gold soul coins. He has never seen so much money in his life. You know, he is only a baby at 10 years old and more than 11 months old. With this money, he can fulfill his dream of eating gourmet food. 3 days later. Continental Cup Youth Potential Cup Food Department Finals, the first round, the first game. Ming Empire's Yuhi vs. Tianzhou Empire. Oscar. My name is Oscar. I was adopted by a teacher of Shriek Academy when I was young. Because I awakened my innate full soul power, I was valued by Dean Flanders and was taken to participate in the Continental Cup. Because there is a shortage of food-type soul masters, I'm also innately full of soul power, which is a higher starting point than others. At the same age, I'm invincible and have reached the finals of the Continental Cup. And today is a major turning point in my life. If it succeeds, I will be the most promising food-type soul master in the entire continent, no one else. Please invite the contestants from both sides to come on stage. After a while, Oscar, dressed in simple clothes, slowly walked onto the stage. In the east, a handsome, resolute, and upright young man dressed in platinum and gold clothes strode over. When Oscar saw the young man who was about to compete with him, his heart skipped a beat. He looked at the other's gorgeous clothes and then looked at his simple coat. A sense of inferiority suddenly emerged in his heart. Inferiority is the reason why the heart is an orphan, and there is also the oppression of the opponent's strong self-confidence from within. Hello, my name is Zuli, and I come from the most powerful country on this continent, the Ming Empire. Zuli seemed to have seen the nervousness of his opponent, and did not show any other emotions. Instead, he took the lead and extending his hand to ease the other party's nervousness. Hello, my name is Oscar, and I come from G. Oscar felt even more inferior halfway through his words. Shriek Academy, let alone on the mainland, even in the Tianzhou Empire, can only be regarded as a small and second-rate academy. It's not that this academy is not powerful, but that this academy is not in the mainstream, not formal, and has no reputation. Hehe, don't be nervous. We are all very good to have come this far. Patting Oscar on the shoulder, Zuli turned around. Referee, I'm ready. The referee nodded. Explode your martial souls, soul power, and then use soul skills. Food-type soul masters don't need to fight, just like auxiliary-type soul masters and healing-type soul masters. What they compete for here is the auxiliary ability of the food system. Zuli, 10 years old, Wooden Cigar, 21st level food-type great soul master. First soul skill, spirit-boosting cigar. A golden light flashed in Zuli's hand, and a yellow soul ring fell from his body. My cigar can burn for 20 minutes. During these 20 minutes, as long as you smoke it, your spirit will be increased by more than 10%. The referee looked at Oscar. Oscar, 10 years old, Wooden Sausage, 22nd level soul power. I have a big sausage. Comprehensive recovery, can promote wound healing, restore physical strength and soul power, and relieve fatigue and pain. Second soul skill, strength boosting cigar. At the same level, my second soul skill can increase strength by up to 20%. Swish. Oscar widened his eyes. 20%, what a joke, we're competing for food, are you competing for support? The moment this soul skill came out, Oscar knew that he probably had no chance, but he was unwilling to give up. Detoxification sausage. After the final review by the referee, the winner was finally determined. I'm sorry, Oscar, according to our judges, Zuli's cigar spirit is stronger than your sausage spirit when they are at level 20. Zuli of the Ming Empire wins. Won the Continental Cup Youth Potential Cup, the strongest food-type spirit master. The most promising food-type spirit master. You are very good. If you want to come to the Ming Empire, come find me and we can study food together. Oscar's eyes lit up after hearing Zuli's words. Chapter 130. Xiao is restrained. In the first match of the Continental Cup Finals, Oscar, representing the Tianxing Empire, lost in the food department of the Youth Potential Cup. Looking at Zuli, who won the strongest food department of the Youth Potential Cup, Oscar stood there for a long time without moving. 1 minute. 2 minutes. 3 minutes. Time passed by bit, and the contestants in the audience began to stir. The audience in Tianxing Square began to discuss one by one. Under the competition stage, Flanders frowned. Hula. The next moment, a pair of huge black wings appeared behind him. Lee. Hula hula. A strong wind blew, and Oscar slowly came back to his senses. Just when he looked up to see what was going on, his shoulder was grabbed by a hard, strong, and warm hand. Dean, Oscar lowered his head. He lost, and he lost on behalf of Shriek Academy. It doesn't matter. If you lose, you'll lose. Losing today doesn't mean you'll lose again in the future. Although for the time being, this food-type soul master is stronger than you, but this is only temporary. Don't forget, you were a food-type soul master with full innate soul power, one of the most talented and potential food-type soul masters on the continent. Flanders did not blame his disciple. Instead, he comforted him in time. Dean, you said, did I choose the wrong direction for my growth? After hearing Oscar's words, Flanders was silent for a while. Oscar's teachings were all from the teachers of Shriek Academy. There are also food-type teachers in Shriek Academy, and their levels are not low. In the future imagination of the teachers of Shriek Academy, a team of soul masters with special potential will be formed, and at the time they will participate in the all-continent Advanced Soul Master competition and become famous throughout the continent. Found the greatest academy. Therefore, Oscar's fate has long been doomed. The first 2 soul rings are to assist teammates. In order to ensure the safety of his teammates, he did not take the route of extreme assistance. The route taken by Zuli of the Ming Empire is very obvious. Extreme assistance, adding spirit and strength. Kid, you just lost in one person. Maybe he is not as good as you in other aspects. Soul Masters still need teammates. Flanders did not deny it, but gave another suggestion. Yeah. I lost to him in the Continental Cup, but it may not be the case in the Continental High-Level Soul Master Academy competition. Behind that Tianxing Empire team, Master Yu Xiaogan looked at Flanders who was comforting Oscar who failed on the stage and his pupil shrank. Continental Cup. Youth Potential Cup Treatment Department Finals. Yi Lenglong of the Ming Empire vs. Lu Wishwang. Yi Lenglong of the Ming Empire won. Yi Lenglong won the title of the Soul Master with the strongest potential in the treatment department. Once Yi Lenglong's 9-star begonia appeared, he was invincible at the stage of the Great Soul Master of the treatment department. Yi Lenglong's opponent was the owner of the Lotus Heart Martial Spirit, and there was no way to compare. Defense system. Because the Ming Empire did not have a strong similar martial spirit, it was unfortunately defeated, and was unexpectedly defeated by a person from the kingdom of Kilitris, the owner of the Pluto Shield, martial spirit, and one the strongest defensor of the young potential. The auxiliary system was occupied by a second ring Great Soul Master from the Seven Treasures Glazed sect of the Tianxing Empire. There is nothing to say about this. The world's #1 auxiliary system martial spirit is not just talk. Youth Potential Cup, the final showdown of the strong attack system. Yu Tianheng of the Tianxing Empire versus Nian'an of the Ming Empire. Behind the Ming Empire team. Hearing this familiar name, Nian'an raised his eyebrows. Yu Tianheng, it's this kid. Calculating the time, shouldn't this kid be 11 or 12 years old? I'm older than him. Nian'an took out a file. Tianxing Empire Strong Attack System. Name. Yu Tianheng. The generation disciple of the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex. Age. 10 years and 11 months. 25 days, soul power. 22 levels. With a soul power of level 22, he almost reached the limit of his age. With the powerful destructive power of the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex, it was indeed no problem for him to be selected as the strongest strong attack system in this age group. Thunder Dragon Claw. Second soul skill, Thunderbolt. After half an hour of competition, the battle was over and the strongest strong attack system was decided. Yu Tianheng of the Tianxing Empire won. The Tianxing Empire won another step. The Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex is the strongest beast martial soul. When they were low-level soul masters, they were indeed invincible. It is said that after level 30, their right arms will turn into dragons, and their attack power will be further enhanced. It is not surprising that they can be the strongest in the Youth Potential Cup. However, the price Yu Tianheng paid for this victory was not small. He walked up, but was carried down lying down. In the finals, except for the auxiliary system, the healing system, and the defense system, which did not fight fiercely, the combat quality of other systems is improved. Now, the strong attack system has begun to have substantial risks. The Youth Potential Cup Agility Attack Finals. Xiao from the Tianxing Empire versus Yan from the Ming Empire. Following the referee's shout, two small figures slowly walked onto the stage from the sidelines. One of the two small figures was wearing a pink long dress, rabbit ears, and a jade rabbit mask. The other was wearing a purple miniskirt, revealing a fleshy calf, and the purple socks on her legs were tight, slowly drawing a line on the soft flesh. She had short purple hair and delicate features, and it was Yan. The moment Yan came on the stage, an old man with long green hair in an inconspicuous corner of the court raised his head with a look of satisfaction. On the sidelines, Yu Tianheng, who had just been carried off the stage, raised his head instantly. It's her. I haven't seen her for a few years. She has become beautiful again. The game begins. On the stage, Xiao's two pale yellow spirit rings flashed, and the next moment she rushed towards Yan. First soul skill, waste. Yan did not give Xiao a chance to approach her. The pale yellow soul ring on her body flashed, and she slightly opened her lips. The next moment, a stream of purple smoke instantly blew out. Purple poison. The purple smoke spread quickly and almost instantly spread throughout the venue. As soon as Xiao's skin on the surface of her body came into contact with the purple smoke, she felt a series of stinging pains. She stopped instantly. Soon the smoke spread throughout the venue. As long as Xiao was on the field, she would inevitably inhale the purple smoke. After a while, Xiao felt like vomiting, dizzy and nauseous. Xiao knew that she was poisoned. If she continued like this, she might faint in a short time. Off stage, Tianxing saw Xiao at the edge of the field being poisoned, and his eyes widened instantly. Xiao was restrained. This is not a sensitive attack system, this is clearly a control system. She should not participate in a sensitive attack system duel. Tianxing glared at Yan on the stage. In fact, what he said was not wrong. However, you can't just look at the first soul skill and make up your mind. In the purple smoke, a pair of green eyes suddenly opened. Second soul skill, Jade Scale Purple Whip. Snap. Chapter 131 Shuabinja's Accident. In the vast purple smoke, a pair of green eyes were so creepy. Rustle. Then came the sound of rapid friction on the ground. Yan shuttled through the purple smoke at high speed and appeared in front of Xiao almost instantly. What is Xiao doing now? She lowered her head and retched. Her head was dizzy and she was in low spirits, as if she was about to faint. When she came to Xiao, Yan did not hesitate at all. A yellow spirit ring lit up on her body, and a green tail instantly condensed behind her. Snap. Ahem. The next moment, Xiao was thrown out in an instant. Xiao. In the audience, Tianxing's screams resounded. Youth Potential Cup, the strongest agility attack system is decided. The Ming Empire, Yan wins. Congratulations, you have won the strongest agility attack system of the Youth Potential Cup and become the most promising agility attack system Soul Master on the continent. This is one of your rewards. The referee slowly took out a box from the storage ring. Yan opened the box directly in front of everyone. But suddenly a burst of light shone, a faint soul power fluctuation slowly emerged, and a piece of bone lay quietly in the box. Crash. What is this? Bone? What kind of reward is bone? Bone? What bone? They have names, okay? This is called soul bone, country bumpkin. 1000-year soul bone, this is one of the rewards for winning the strongest of the 7 major systems of the Youth Potential Cup. The reason why the Continental Cup is so popular this time is that as long as you have the ability, you have the opportunity to participate. Moreover, as long as you win 1 game, the ticket money will be returned, and winning 2 games will make a lot of money. Not only that, as long as you become the winner of the Youth Potential Cup and the Champion Cup, you'll have the opportunity to win one of the tens of millions of bonuses. The bonus of the Youth Potential Cup is as high as hundreds of thousands. The Adult Champions Cup even broke the million mark. Soul bones, 1000 years or 10,000 years, gold soul coins, hundreds of thousands or millions, the most suitable soul rings, personal soul guides, etc. are all the final rewards. Perhaps for most soul masters, the gold soul coins awarded are enough for them to spend time on the competition. As for soul bones, even for nobles of high birth, it is not necessarily easy to obtain them. Therefore, as soon as the Continental Cup appeared, it instantly became popular throughout the continent. Soul bones are really a giveaway. The strongest control system finals of the Youth Potential Cup. Please welcome Tianxing of the Heavendo Empire and Xiaoyao of the Ming Empire to the stage. Tap tap tap. Tianxing walked onto the competition stage with a serious face. The Continental Cup control system finals. As long as he wins this time, his name will be famous throughout the continent. Dad will probably come back to find him after hearing this. Xiao will be proud of being his sister. The teacher will be happy that he is his apprentice and can fully demonstrate his talent on the mainland. No matter what, I have too many reasons to win. So this time, I must win. Tianxing Empire Tianxing. Ming Empire Xiaoyao. Please advise. As the two of them spoke in unison, the 2 people on the stage took action instantly. Tap, 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 tap. Tianxing used the ghost shadow to rush towards Xiaoyao frantically, and the master's words were faintly heard in his ears. Xiaoyao is 2 years older than you, and her martial spirit is the legendary top beast martial spirit Ice Phoenix, so you can't fight head-on. The reward for winning the championship, that soul bone is very important to you, maybe it can directly change your life. So, no matter what, you have to win this game. I, Tianxing, must win. Ah. On the stage, Tianxing's short legs kept tossing and turning, and he almost instantly approached Xiaoyao. In Xiaoyao's field of vision, Tianxing kept turning and moving, and his movement speed was very fast. No, he's too fast. I can't freeze him. Tianxing appeared in front of Xiaoyao without any extra time to think. He raised his hand and punched. Bang. The explosion sounded instantly. Li. Xiaoyao didn't hesitate at all. The moment the martial spirit possessed her, a pale yellow spirit ring slowly rose on her body. Ice ring armor. Instantly, a layer of ice crystals attached to her body. Bang. Tianxing punched down, and his fist instantly turned red. His brows frowned slightly, and he instantly used the mysterious jade hand. He bent down and swept horizontally. Xiaoyao was wearing a blue tights, revealing a graceful body, short blue hair, delicate facial features, and a cold face. The blue high heels on her feet slightly accumulated power, and the next moment they took off instantly. She dodged this sweep. Seeing that Xiaoyao didn't seem to want to be approached, Tianxing raised his eyebrows. First spirit skill, blue-silver grass entanglement. Kai kai kai. Instantly, the blue-silver grass in Tianxing's hand burst out and wrapped around Xiaoyao's small ankle. 3. The phoenix was screaming, and Tianxing could clearly feel that the temperature around him was dropping rapidly. After a while, in the confrontation between the two sides, Tianxing's body began to shake. This temperature, 3 minutes later, all the blue-silver grass was broken and shattered into pieces. The temperature is too low, the blue-silver grass was frozen, and then shattered into slag. Tianxing's pupil shrank, and before he could react, a small foot with strong wind kicked at him instantly. 3. In the Ming Empire team, Nian'an watched the fight between Tianxing and Xiaoyao quietly. The two sides seemed to be evenly matched, but in fact Xiaoyao was in the upper hand. Tianxing has many secret manuals, Quantum Gong, Ghost Shadow, Purple Demon Eye. Xiaoyao actually has nothing except that she is 2 years older than Tianxing. Of course, even so, it is a fact that Xiaoyao's spirit power is higher than Tianxing. Master wants Tianxing to hold Xiaoyao back and then defeat her. But the premise is that Tianxing can withstand the cold. As time goes by bit, Tianxing found that something was wrong. His hands and body began to become numb. Even though he could see Xiaoyao's movements clearly, his hands could not keep up. Bang! Tianxing was kicked in the face, and his face turned red immediately, followed by his stomach and chest. Xiaoyao's high heels stepped hard on Tianxing's chest. Puff! The next moment, Tianxing flew backwards instantly. In the end, he still couldn't hold on. At the moment Tianxing flew backwards, a yellow spirit ring appeared on Xiaoyao's body, the intense cold instantly enveloped Tianxing, and a layer of white mist instantly emerged. Are we going to lose? Damn, so close, I'll be unwilling to lose. Tianxing knew that in the current situation, if he wanted to win, he had to use external force. It was almost impossible to win this game without using external force. The storage belt on his waist flashed, and a ray of light appeared in Tianxing's hand. Then, with all his strength, Tianxing aimed at Xiaoyao in mid-air and threw it out quickly. Xiaoyao used the Phoenix martial spirit to instantly fly into the air. The yellow soul ring on her body flashed, and she was about to make up for Tianxing and complete the final blow. The next moment, a ray of light instantly shot into her body, and she only felt her body swell and lost all her fighting power. She quickly fell to the bottom of the ring. Under the stage, Nian'an frowned, took a step down and instantly appeared on the stage, hugging Xiaoyao who was about to fall. In a daze, Xiaoyao slowly opened her eyes. My lord. P.S. Happy New Year. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novel, as there you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 132 Tianxing did not cheat. Chapter 133 Tianxing did not cheat. Xiaoyao widened her eyes and stared at the man who held her in his arms. At this moment, her beautiful eyebrows slightly frowned, and somewhere in her body was aching, and she couldn't use any strength. It's okay, I'm here. Nian'an's faint voice rang out, and the next moment, Xiaoyao only felt a sudden surge of warmth in her body. Nian'an grabbed Xiaoyao's shoulder with his right hand and patted it gently. Puchi. Dang. In an instant, a golden steel needle was forced out of Xiaoyao's body by Nian'an. It fell on the competition platform not far away. Swish. The referee team saw this scene and stood up from their seats. Then came the remaining contestants. In the Adult Champions Cup, one of the members of the Spirit Hall narrowed his eyes fiercely and slammed the table. Bang. Damn it, this guy is playing dirty tricks. Damn it, Nian'an was probably attacked by this guy with this broken steel needle and has been unconscious until today. Referee, I protest, this guy cheated in the game. Crash. Seeing the accidents on and off the competition stage, countless spectators in the Tianxing Square below also began to riot. I said, how could a mere blue-silver grass soul master beat a fire soul master of the same level? It turns out that this kid cheated. I heard that this kid is from a remote area of the Tianxing Empire. To win the finals, he must have cheated a lot along the way. If you ask me, thanks to the leader of the Ming Empire, otherwise we would still be kept in the dark, and maybe this kid would have won the first place in the control department of the Youth Potential Cup. Damn cheater, give me back my money. Do you know that because of your cheating, I almost lost everything and my family was separated? Seeing the scene suddenly become chaotic, the referee team couldn't help but panic. They hurriedly investigated and appeased. The steel needle on the ground was collected. On the other side. Bang. Tang San fell from midair, listening to the waves of condemnation and cursing in his ears. He stood there for a long time without coming back to his senses. His hands and feet were cold. Tang San, I fuck you, you damn cheater, you bastard with no mother. The curses, one after another, the sound that went straight to the heart of his parents slowly made Tang San's cheeks red, and his eyes were red, as if they were congested. No, it's not like that. I'm not a cheater. I didn't cheat. I just used my own weapons. Is it that I just used the attack method I'm good at and it's not accurate? When Tang San said this, there was more or less a lack of tone in his tone. It just so happened that at this time, the referee came over. Tang San raised his head, gritted his teeth, and his eyes gradually became firm. Referee, I, Tang San, did not cheat. I did not cheat. I, Tang San, did not cheat. Tang San had already decided that as long as he could obtain the spirit bone that his teacher had mentioned, it would bring great help to his future and present. As long as he held onto it, and it was not written in the rules, then no one could do anything to him. But Tang San looked into the eyes of the referee. According to the investigation of the referee team and the previous data recovery, the evidence is irrefutable. Tang San, what else do you want to quibble about? In the VIP room, no. 1. Zhu Qinghe looked at the screen in front of him and shook his head slightly. What a pity for such a good seedling. If this had not happened, even if he was the second place, it would be enough for me to win him over. What a pity, his reputation has been ruined, and it would not be of any use to win him over. On the competition stage. After hearing the referee's words, Tang San's face turned pale. He opened his mouth, but before he could make any sound, the huge display screens in Tianxing Square suddenly flashed. After a while, a scene of a man and a woman fighting appeared. It was very intense, until the man was knocked away by the woman. This was the video of Tang San and Xiaoyao fighting not long ago. After Tang San was knocked away, various expressions flashed across his face, and finally the storage ring on his waist flashed. At this time, a layer of cold air condensed white mist appeared. It slightly obscured Tang San's figure and even the movements of his hands. But at this moment, the picture froze, and then one of the display screens changed. 2, 3, 4, 365-degree pictures without dead angles. It clearly recorded Tang San took out something from the storage belt, fired it, and then put it back into the storage belt. Seeing this scene, Tang San's face turned pale. Cheating. No, I didn't cheat, I was using hidden weapon skills. No, this doesn't mean I cheated, I just used the weapon I'm good at. Isn't the Continental Cup contest for the strongest control system? Seeing that Tang San was still obsessed, the referee frowned. Control system, then you see if this thing belongs to the control system? The competition rules are clearly written, only the use of martial spirits as a means of attack is allowed, and the referee group will select according to the martial spirits. What are you doing? Relying on external forces to take the crooked way. Then what is the meaning of holding my Continental Cup? Faced with the referee's earnest advice, how could Tang San listen to it now? He sneered. Who knows yours? The Ming Empire is one of the organizers of the Continental Cup. Who knows if this is your inside story? Since the winner has already been decided, what's the point of running for it? Didn't I win? If you are not good, practice more. If you can't afford to play, don't play. Not far away, Nian'an frowned when he heard this. Interesting, provocation. Sorry, Nian'an may not be affected by any method, but he is only affected by provocation. Looking at Xiaoyao in front of him slowly opening her eyes, Nian'an slowly spoke. I have treated your injuries almost completely. After hearing Nian'an's words, Xiaoyao's face was full of gratitude. Thank you for your help, sir. Nian'an did not answer Xiaoyao's words, but turned around and walked towards Tang San. Why, isn't this the reality? I won, but it doesn't count in your eyes. I tell you, the first place in this Youth Potential Cup should be mine. Even if the control system of the Ming Empire wins, it is not legitimate and reasonable. Tang San became more and more courageous. Just when Nian'an wanted to speak, a small hand with a faint temperature instantly grabbed him. Sir, as a member of the Ming Empire, I think, I want to defeat him personally and defend the glory of the Ming Empire. Hearing this, Nian'an silently retracted his gaze. Yes, if he had to take action himself against the current Tang San, it would be too cheap. At the moment of turning around, Nian'an slowly left a word. Since he wants to defeat you with this crappy weapon, then you can use your soul guide to show the world the power of the soul guide origin land. Comparing weapons with my Ming Empire is like lighting a lamp in a toilet, looking for shit. Chapter 133. Bad Soul Master, score cancelled. Chapter 134. Bad Spirit Master, cancel the score. Yes, sir. For the glory of the Ming Empire, I will never lose. After saying this, Xiaoyao looked up, and the expression in her eyes instantly became extremely determined. I, Tianxing, did not cheat. On the other side, Tianxing was still protesting fiercely, and the referee's back teeth were almost broken. Damn it. This damn kid, I really want to slap him. No, in front of so many eyes on the whole continent, if I really do this on behalf of the Tianzhou Empire, it will damage the majesty of the empire. Just when the referee was still in a dilemma, Xiaoyao slowly walked out from the back. I will fight you. Don't you want to compare weapons? Weapons, my Ming Empire also has them, and they are weapons that make countless people on the continent tremble with fear. Xiaoyao stood up, and her cold face facing Tianxing flashed with contempt and a hint of anger. Tianxing turned his head and saw Xiaoyao. Unexpectedly, his resistance finally won the victory. But, did I hear correctly? She wants to play with me with hidden weapons. It's a joke. I have the Tang sect with thousands of years of history behind me, and I am the only peerless genius in the Tang sect for hundreds of years. Comparing with me is a joke. Well, as long as I beat her again, even if the organizers of the Continental Cup don't want to give it, it is impossible in front of so many people. Tianxing's mouth curled up with a sneer. Okay, I accept your challenge. Hearing that Xiaoyao wanted to compete with Tianxing again, the referee panicked instantly, but didn't wait for him to say anything. Offstage, in the Ming Empire's participating team, a male voice came from the leisurely. Let her fight, and all losses incurred afterwards will be borne by my Ming Empire. What is a wealthy shable? This is a wealthy shable. In fact, Xiaoyao can simply ignore Tianxing, and the referee team will deal with Tianxing. The position of the strongest control system in the Youth Potential Cup has basically stabilized. But the Ming Empire just doesn't have it. Isn't it just soul bones, gold soul coins, matching soul rings, and soul guides? If you have the ability, you can take them. Didn't you say that the victory was unfair? Didn't you say that this is just your weapon? Okay, let's compete again. This time, you can use all kinds of weapons at will. Not only must you be convinced by your mouth, but your heart must also be calmed. But the Ming Empire can make trouble, but the referee team of the Tianzhou Empire cannot make trouble. What do you think this is? It's okay to be exposed for cheating in the Continental Cup. What if the Continental Cup is held later and everyone cheats? There is no way, the referee can only return to the referee team for discussion. Soon the result of the discussion came out. After discussion by the referee team and with the agreement of both contestants, the next game, Fighting Soul, will not be counted in the official competition of the Continental Cup. In the Continental Cup, weapons other than martial souls are strictly prohibited. Once discovered, they will be severely punished. Offstage. I heard Xiaoyao's words before, that the Ming Empire has the strongest weapons in the entire continent, and it is also terrifying. The master immediately went to check the information. If you don't check, you won't know. Once you check, you will be shocked. The Ming Empire does have a very powerful weapon. This weapon is called a soul guide. It is a weapon controlled by a soul master and can burst out with powerful power. When a soul master uses it, he is basically invincible at the same level. A person with strong talent can fight against a higher level with the soul guide. After receiving this news, the master's eyes widened instantly. Then he ran non-stop towards the direction of the competition stage. However, even if he rushed over in a hurry, he was still a step too late. Because, on the competition stage, this unlimited and rule-less soul fighting began. Xiaoyao, no, can't fight, admit defeat, let's admit defeat. The strongest control system of the Youth Potential Cup, we don't want it, and we don't want the soul bone. After learning about the advanced soul guide of the Ming Empire, the master was scared to the point of peeing. The most speechless thing is that this battle has developed to the point where there are no rules and no restrictions. If this goes wrong, it will kill people. Tianxing looked back at his teacher and gritted his teeth secretly. Teacher, don't worry. I will definitely win this match. Ghostly shadow. In an instant, Tianxing approached Xiaoyao quickly, just like the last time he fought with his spirit. In the blink of an eye, he ran behind Xiaoyao. And Xiaoyao? She stood there blankly, as if she had not reacted at all. The next moment, Tianxing suddenly lifted his sleeves, and a beautiful iron object was tightly attached to Tianxing's palm. The next moment, the mechanism was activated. Whoosh! It's over, silent hidden blade. An iron needle shot out quickly and stabbed directly at Xiaobinja's back. Hearing the sound from behind, Xiaobinja slowly turned around. Just halfway through, the hidden blade appeared 30 centimeters away from her. But Xiaobinja didn't show any fear. The storage ring on her right hand flashed, and the necklace on her neck lit up slightly. Then, when the hidden blade was 10 centimeters away from Xiaobinja, it was suddenly bounced away by a golden defense shield. Tianxing's pupils shrank fiercely. How is this possible? Xiaobinja ignored Tianxing's surprised expression and silently raised her hand. The next moment, a nice crystal sword appeared in her hand. In the center of the sword, there was a very conspicuous third-level core, which meant that it was a third-level soul guide. Let me show you the difference between our weapons. Saboteur sprint. The storage ring in Xiaobinja's hand flashed, and she appeared in front of Tianxing in an instant. The sword in her hand lit up with a white light, and the next moment Xiaobinja appeared behind Tianxing. And behind Tianxing, a long sword mark slowly appeared. Puff. Plop. Xiaobinja slowly turned around, looked at Tianxing who was kneeling on the ground, and silently raised the sword in her hand. Intense pain filled Tianxing's chest, his eyes were wide open, and bloodshot, but the biting cold made him unable to move, so he couldn't move at all. His heart had already been deeply shocked. What kind of weapon is this? Why can she directly resist my hidden blade? Xiaobinja's ice crystal longsword flashed a cold light under the sun. Before Xiaobinja could continue to hurt Tianxing, the next moment, a gust of wind appeared in the sky, and the shrill cry of birds resounded throughout the Tianzhou square. Yellow, purple, blab, blab, 2 yellow, 2 purple, and 3 black were a soul saint. The soul saint looked nervous and sweaty, but his body blocked in front of Tianxing. Everyone, the child is still young and ignorant. It is a fact that the game is cheating. We voluntarily withdraw from the game. The soul saint stretched out his hand to help Tianxing up. Not long after the action appeared, a cold voice rang out in the Ming Empire team. Wait! You want to take people away so easily? The soul saint frowned, but facing this person from the Ming Empire, he could only be respectful. I don't know. At this time, the referee team came out. Tianxing cheated in the competition and hurt 2 contestants in succession. He needs to compensate the contestants and cancel all his Continental Cup results, becoming one of the top 10 Soul Masters in the list of bad deeds. Hearing this, the Soul Saint breathed a sigh of relief, but then a look of pain appeared on his face. You should pay compensation. Before the Soul Saint could continue, the voice of the Ming Empire team sounded again. Of course you should pay compensation, and you should kneel down and apologize. If you want to save him, you are no exception. You should also kneel down and apologize. After all, as his elder, it is your responsibility if you fail to discipline him strictly. Chapter 134 Asking for medicine for my brother. As soon as these words came out, the team of the Ming Empire slowly dispersed, and a man with a halo mask walked out. It was obvious that he had been making things difficult for the Soul Saint. The leader of the Spirit Hall team also slowly stood up. He glanced at the 7 yellow, purple, black and black soul rings under the Soul Saint's feet, and then slowly moved his eyes to look at the pair of black wings behind the Soul Saint. He scanned his face again, and then accurately said the name of the Soul Saint. For right at Owl Flanders. I heard that you have an academy called Qi, which has made some achievements recently and has a good food-related soul master. You don't teach your students well, and you come to get involved in this kind of thing. You don't really think that your name of 4 right at Owl can have any face on the mainland, right? Flanders' face froze. Now it's good, he is famous on the mainland, of course, this is not a good reputation. Looking at Tianxing on the ground, Flanders secretly gritted his teeth. If it weren't for his old friend asking him for help, he really didn't want to offend the Ming Empire, the Spirit Hall, and so many top forces. But there was no way. This was his old friend's apprentice. His old friend came out again. With his help, the development of Shriek Academy would definitely reach a new level. My old face, in front of you, definitely has no face, but, before Flanders finished speaking, his words were instantly interrupted. Just know, your face, my imbecile. Hand over the chi to heal the people who played tricks on the Spirit Hall, otherwise, humph. With a cold snort, the leader of the Spirit Hall suddenly burst out with a powerful momentum. Yellow, purple, blab, 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 2 yellow, 2 purple, and 4 blab, a terrifying 8-ring Douluo. Flanders' face changed, the black wings behind him flashed wildly, a powerful pressure descended, and cold sweat flowed from his head. Although there was only one Douluo in front of him, it was not him who was powerful, but the entire spirit hall behind him. Senior, we will pay full compensation and apologize to the people injured by this kid's sneak attack, but I want to take the people away. I have no choice but to be entrusted by others. After saying that, Flanders did not hesitate this time and took out a token from his body. Swish. Almost instantly, one after another people stood up in the spirit hall team. Under the huge display screen, this token was clearly displayed in everyone's eyes. What is this? What is this token? What's the use of this? What power does it represent? Yes, those who understand will understand, and those who don't understand I can't explain it. Those who knew took a breath of cold air instantly, and those who didn't know looked at each other. When the leader of the spirit hall saw this token, his pupils shrank fiercely, and his face turned blue and purple. It represents the highest authority of the spirit hall. Senior, I was just entrusted by someone. I heard that the person holding this token has a certain relationship with your spirit hall. Here, I deeply apologize to the injured spirit hall player. The 6 emperors of Tianxing Order, also known as the Pope Order, the Elder Order, on this continent, there are very few people who have the official authorization of the Spirit Hall, and they can basically be counted on one hand. And these people are undoubtedly the people standing at the top of the continent. The weakest has a title cultivation. Even if they don't have a title cultivation, they are at least protected by a title. It's not something he can afford to offend alone. There was no way, the leader of the spirit hall could only snort coldly, turn around and wave his sleeves to leave. Seeing that the people from the spirit hall had left, Flanders wiped the cold sweat from his forehead. Gone, finally left. They in the spirit hall are afraid of your token, but my Ming Empire is not afraid. The next moment, Flanders' heart, which had been lifted with great difficulty, instantly rose again. Just one left, and now another difficult one comes, it's simply too much. Flanders gritted his teeth and then did not hesitate at all. Plop. We used something that we shouldn't have used during the game and accidentally injured the player of the Great Ming Empire. Sorry. Here, we express our sincerest apologies to the Great Ming Empire. Tianxing couldn't move at all now. He could only be pushed to the ground by Flanders and cut out several times. Flanders was also a ruthless man. For the sake of his old friend, as a soul saint, he was able to bend and stretch in front of countless audiences on the mainland. He did not hesitate at all to deal with Nian'an's words. After all, he was Tianxing's elder. Since the child was not taught well, what's wrong with the elders being humiliated a little? It's better to be humiliated now than in the future. It's better than being beheaded, right? He kowtowed to apologize and make amends, leaving a number that made Flanders' mouth twitch constantly in pain, and then quickly left with Tianxing. Let's congratulate Xiaoyao of the Great Ming Empire for winning the strongest control system in the Youth Potential Cup. After that, the game continued. On the other side. San, Xiao-san, wake up, San, Sana, Xiao-san. What's wrong? Why is your body so cold? Damn, it's not a sword wound. The wound has been frozen, maybe the body is also. I have a big sausage. In a daze, Tianxing slowly opened his eyes, and then watched a big sausage shoved into his mouth. He wanted to resist, he wanted to refuse, but unfortunately there was no strength left in his body. He could only bear it silently helplessly. Xiaogang can't, this kid's injury is too serious. Now I guess only the Imperial Doctor of Tianxing Palace can treat the injuries in this kid's body. After hearing what Flanders said, Yu Xiaogang's head was big. Imperial Doctor, how could he contact the Imperial Doctor now? You know, the Imperial Doctor only treats the royal family. The royal family? Wait, I seem to have heard that His Royal Highness the Crown Prince is very optimistic about them. Now, although Xiao-san's reputation is a bit bad, but Xiao-san is a genius, plus Xiao's words. In the room, Xiao in the corner froze. The competition of the Youth Potential Cup is over. In a VIP room somewhere, a luxurious carriage began to slowly drive towards the Tianxing Palace. Bang! At this moment, the convoy was in a panic. Who dares to intercept the Crown Prince's carriage? In the carriage, Zhu Qinghe frowned slowly. At this time, there was more than Zhu Qinghe in the carriage. Teacher. Nine Fengzi, the leader of the Seven Treasures Glazed sect, shook his head slowly. It doesn't matter. Nian'an was accompanied by a bodyguard, Douluo Dalu Province, Noting City, Noting Junior Soul Master Academy, the second place in the Youth Potential Cup Agility Attack Department. Xiaoyao hereby asks His Royal Highness the Crown Prince for medicine for my brother. Asking for medicine for my brother. Hearing this, what? Zhuqinghe and Nian'an raised their eyebrows. The curtain of the carriage began to slowly open, and Zhuqinghe and Nian'an slowly walked out. The moment he saw Xiaoyao, Zhuqinghe's mind emerged with Xiao's information. He had met her before. But, brother, the brother she was talking about couldn't be Tianxing, who cheated in the Continental Cup. Soon, Zhuqinghe's doubts were answered. Because not long after the carriage stopped, 4 people slowly walked in from a distance, 2 middle-aged men and a teenager. They were also supporting someone. Chapter 135 Identity Exposed, Clear Sky Hammer. Chapter 136 Identity Exposed, Clear Sky Hammer. Looking at the person who was being supported and slowly walking over, Zhuqinghe frowned slightly. It was indeed him. Nian'an's expression gradually began to become subtle. I don't know, what's the matter with you? Zhuqinghe's tone was not so distant, but it was not as warm and gentle as when he had contacted Tianxing and Xiao before. It was indifferent and without any emotion. Your Highness, please save my student. My student is now seriously injured. The cold air has entered his body. It is estimated that many parts of his body are frozen. He is in urgent need of treatment. Hearing this, Zhuqinghe's face gradually turned cold. In the Continental Cup held by mighty Ando Empire, he openly cheated. After his cheating was discovered, he still made a fuss. He let tens of millions of people on the continent see what the style of the Tiando Empire is, and he was embarrassed in front of countless national forces. What good would it do to my Tiando Empire to save such a person? The master's face turned pale when he heard this. Your Highness, Tianxing was just confused for a moment. He wanted to win too much, to prove himself too much, to win the final victory for the Heavendo Empire and bring glory to the country too much. No matter what, Tianxing is a citizen of the Heavendo Empire. As long as you can save him, I swear on his behalf that I will swear allegiance to the Heavendo Empire for life. Glory, loyalty. In Zhuqinghe's eyes, no, it should be Qian Ringxiu's eyes, it's just a passing cloud. After all, this Zhuqinghe is not the real Zhuqinghe. However, this Xiao and Oscar are both outstanding in the Youth Potential Cup. If they can really grow up in the future, they will be a considerable force in the Heavendo Empire. Zhuqinghe's eyes swept around and finally fell on Flanders. Hey Your Highness, if you need me one day, I, and even the Shriek Academy behind me, will accomplish my mission as long as you need me. Helplessly, for the sake of his old friend, Flanders and his own Shriek Academy owed him a huge favor. Teacher, what do you think? Zhuqinghe turned to look at his teacher. Nian'an and a silver-haired old man beside him glanced at Xiao wearing a jade rabbit mask, and then fell on Oscar who was not far away. These are all rare talents. But with a burst of light, a colorful light shone on Nian'an's body, and his right hand was gently lifted up. The next moment, a 7-story small tower appeared instantly. Yellow, purple, blab, blab, 2 yellow, 2 purple, and 3 blab, a 7-ring soul saint. 7 treasure glazed tower, 7 ring soul saint, prince's teacher, 7 treasure glazed sect master, Nian'an. Flanders widened his eyes in surprise, staring at the small tower in Nian'an's hand. Before he could react, the next moment, a ray of light flew out of the tower and shot straight into Tianxing's body. But the next moment, Tianxing's wound healed at a speed visible to the naked eye, but when it was halfway healed, Nian'an suddenly stopped. No, my treatment can't solve his critical injuries. It requires the strong soul power of a powerful soul master to slowly thaw the frozen parts of his body. In addition, it is necessary to rest his internal organs. Such means are probably only available to the imperial doctors in the royal family. After hearing Nian'an's words, a person beside him stepped forward. Yellow, purple, blab, 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 2 yellow, 2 purple, 5 blab, 9 soul rings flashed. Seeing this scene, Xiao's face turned pale and she lowered her head suddenly. Wait, Uncle Jian, this still won't work. The cold and the heat will cause his organs to fail rapidly. Special methods must be used. Hearing this, Zhuqinghe left her word and walked straight into the carriage. Follow me. Nian'an and Jianluo returned to the carriage. Jianluo spoke as soon as they returned to the carriage. Master, I can't see through that girl named Xiao. After hearing Jianluo's words, Nian'an pondered slightly. It should be the mask on her face, or she has some mysterious soul guide that hides her aura. Such means should come from the Ming Empire. It seems that these geniuses should not be simple. Imperial Hospital. After the special treatment of the Imperial Hospital, the treatment began again. But this time with the assistance of the three parties, the effect was remarkable. Tianxing's whole body was red, and the expression on his face was constantly changing. It was obvious that he was under great pressure at this time. The seven treasures have spirits, but the seven treasures glazed tower kept turning, and a strong pressure appeared on Douluo. Tianxing closed his eyes slightly and kept absorbing the medicinal materials prepared by the Imperial Hospital. With the seven treasures glazed tower and the strong soul power of a titled Douluo, his injuries continued to recover. At the same time, his body was also under unparalleled pressure. Instantly, his first martial soul flourished. Bang! Level 23. Good boy, it turned out to be a blessing in disguise. He actually broke through the first level of soul power. And outside the Imperial Hospital at this time, prepared 3 doses of medicine for mental recovery. The Imperial physician at the Imperial Hospital looked at the beautiful woman in front of him helplessly. Master Xiaoyao, you have come to the Imperial Hospital so many times in the past year. If your friend is really mentally ill, he would have recovered after taking this medicine. If he hasn't recovered after taking it for so long, then this medicine can't cure your friend, right? After hearing the words of the Imperial physician, Tang Yuehua, the master of Xiaoyao, had a blank expression on her face. Just go out. Even if there is only a 1 in 10,000 chance, I will try it for him. After taking the medicine, Tang Yuehua was about to leave when she saw a powerful shockwave suddenly appear in a compartment. Bang! The huge sound scared Tang Yuehua. Without anyone knowing, the sky above the Imperial Hospital had been covered with dark clouds at some point. In the compartment, wrapped in a strong pressure, Tianxing opened his eyes in a daze. The strong pressure forced him to open his left hand involuntarily. In his left hand, a flash of lightning flashed, followed by an iron-like object, which slowly grew larger until it formed a hammer. Shwa! Instantly, everyone in the private room widened their eyes and stood up at once. Ah! Tianxing could no longer hold on, and roared angrily, raised the small hammer in his hand high, and smashed it straight ahead. Master, be careful. Crack! Boom! The next moment, the Imperial Hospital exploded instantly. The house collapsed, and Douluo summoned the martial soul 7 killing sword, knocking the hammer away. As luck would have it, the hammer instantly bounced out of the compartment and landed in front of Tang Yuehua, who was about to leave but stopped when she heard the strange sound. This is Clear Sky Hammer. Tang Yuehua was shocked. On the other side, after the youth potential cup ended, Nian'an was sitting in the only employee's main seat of the embassy. Sir, after the cheater Tianxing left Tiando Square, he went to Tiando Crown Prince Xiaoyao. 7 Treasure Glazed Sect's Nian'an tried to treat him, but it seems that he was not cured. He has now gone to Tiando Palace. Pa! The cup in Nian'an's hand was crushed in an instant. Xiaoyao and Tianxing finally got involved. Why didn't she listen to me? Is Tianxing really better than me? Report, hundreds of miles of urgent news. On the other side, hundreds of miles of urgent news from the Ming Empire was delivered to Nian'an. There are latest developments in the overseas Sun Moon continent. Chapter 136 Nian'an's solicitation. Inside the embassy, Nian'an slowly took the urgent report. When he saw the cover of the urgent report, his pupils narrowed. Written by Xiaoyao, the great general of the Ming Empire, and personally sent by His Majesty. Xiaoyao, the former commander of the Imperial Guard, a branch of the royal family, and Nian'an's most loyal and powerful supporter. Because of the task of building a sea base, he and 100,000 Snow Dragon riders were taken to the sea by Nian'an. After guarding for many years, as Nian'an's most loyal supporter, he never came back once. Even when his own child was born, even the name was given by Nian'an, the Emperor of the Ming Empire. Seeing the signature of Xiaoyao, Nian'an was in a trance for a moment, and when he reacted, he slowly opened the urgent report. There was no sign of the anti-counterfeiting strip on the urgent report being removed, which meant that no one else had seen the urgent report before Nian'an opened it. Your Highness Xiaoyao pays homage to His Majesty the Emperor of the Ming Dynasty. Long live the Emperor of the Ming Dynasty. I was ordered to garrison the overseas military base of the Ming Empire and monitor the Sun and Moon continent. After 2.5 months, I learned about the initial situation of the Sun and Moon continent. There are two powerful empires on the Sunday and Moon continent. One is the Great Sun Kingdom, the Lari Empire, that occupies the indigenous population living on the islands of Miming Empire, and the other is the Silver Moon Empire, the enemy of the Lari Empire. These two empires often go to war because of territorial reasons. They both believe that their own path is correct and feel that it is necessary to lead the people of the Sunday and Moon continent to a bright future, so they began to compete for global hegemony. After the territory on the mainland was gone, they expanded overseas territories, and they all wanted to suppress the other side. This is how our Ming Islands were invaded and occupied. Then the war broke out again. After the war ended, it entered the Cold War era. During the Cold War era, I saw their economy grow rapidly and entered the initial Soul Guide era. At this point, the record of the development of the Sunday and Moon continent ends. Of course, this does not mean that the content in the emergency report is gone. This is just about the problem of the Sunday and Moon continent. Nian'an found another interesting news downstairs. Your Majesty, as expected, this group of natives is a group of ungrateful people. With our economic assistance and technological support, the island nation of Benri has developed rapidly and its population has increased, but they are secretly building ships, ready to break away and betray the Ming Empire at any time. Just a few months ago, they built their own ships, carrying a large number of our firearms and the knowledge of building firearms. Under the leadership of the new leader, the whole country moved away from our military base and fled to the Sunday and Moon continent. A few days later, they invaded the Sunday and Moon continent without declaring war against the two major empires of the Sunday and Moon continent. Looking at the letter in front of him, Nian'an raised his eyebrows. Nian'an was not surprised that things would develop like this, but the speed of Benri's invasion was beyond Nian'an's expectations. Originally, it was thought that they would have to give them more than 10 years of courage before they dared to break away from the Ming Empire and invade the Sunday and Moon continent. Unexpectedly, in just a few years, their desires skyrocketed wildly, and they couldn't wait to start invading the Sunday and Moon continent. However, the Sun-Moon continent has only developed to this point, which really surprised Nian'an. I didn't expect that I didn't attack when I went there before. At the time, they were still in the era of firearms, and now they've entered the era of soul guides. It's a bit of a loss. If it was at the time, I would have gone all out and taken over the Sun-Moon continent. How big would the world map of the Ming Empire be? Unfortunately, if you miss it, you miss it. Nian'an picked up the pen and quickly wrote down 4 words. Wait and see what happens. Send it to General Xiaoyao. Seeing this, a eunuch from the Western factory immediately received the order and withdrew. On the other side, the sudden situation in the Tianzhou Palace instantly made everyone at the scene stunned. Jianluo, 9 Fengzi, Zuking head, pupils shrank sharply. Clear sky hammer. Then they all said in unison. Hearing what they said, Flanders beside Yu Xiaokang's pupils shrank. Twin spirits, one of which is the top-level weapon spirit, the clear sky hammer. 9 Fengzi's face changed wildly, his expression was uncertain. Clear sky hammer, how could the clear sky hammer appear here? No, it seems that the envoy of the Ming Empire was assassinated in the Tianzhou Empire, and the location seems to be Fazno Province, not far from Noting City. This Tianxing seems to be from the Noting Junior Spirit Master Academy in Noting City. Could it be that he is that person's child? Is your father's name Xiaoyao? After hearing 9 Fengzi's words, Tianxing's body trembled obviously and turned his head in an instant, his eyes fixed on 9 Fengzi. Noticing that Tianxing's mood was not right, the master beside him hurried over. Xiao-san, this is your savior, the leader of the 7 Treasures Glazed Sect, 9 Fengzi. Hearing this, Tianxing let down his guard a little, but the vigilance in his eyes did not dissipate at all. My father, Xiaoyao. I wonder if the senior and my father are, click. On the side, Zuking stared at Tianxing, his hands clenched tightly without knowing when. Tianxing, good, very good. He actually saved the son of his enemy by mistake. Xiao-san, this is not what you need to care about now. When the time comes, I will tell you about your life experience. Just when 9 Fengzi was about to speak, the master stood up. Quick, thank His Royal Highness Prince Zuking, the Lord of the 7 Treasures Glazed Sect, and His Majesty the Sword Luo. Obviously, the master did not want Tianxing to be exposed to the grievances of the previous generation too early. Of course, the master's idea is not just that simple. In fact, Xiaoyao's disappearance offended too many people, and their strength is not something Tianxing can deal with now. Thank you all for your help today. I, Tianxing, will remember your life-saving grace. Tianxing bowed and was about to leave when Nian'an's leisurely voice slowly sounded. The son of an old friend, I didn't expect that the child would grow up so big in the blink of an eye. After hearing Nian'an's words, Tianxing stopped instantly. Master Niang, do you know my father? Nian'an did not answer Tianxing's question directly. Who wouldn't know the youngest title Douluo on the continent? Corner. Oscar's eyes widened instantly. Xiao's head, which was lowered, suddenly widened. Sure enough, his guess was correct, and his mother's reminder was also correct. The title Douluo who was secretly monitoring him was not someone else, but Tianxing's father, Xiaoyao. Suddenly, he thought of the hammer Tianxing threw before, which was exactly the same as the big hammer he saw when he was about to escape from Noting Junior Soul Master Academy a few years ago. Come to my 7 treasure glazed sect and sit down when you have time. I will tell you everything I know. Tianxing was pulled away by Master Xiaoyao. At the moment they left, a person in a corner of the palace also walked out of the palace instantly. Tianxing had just left the palace when a team of people dressed gorgeously and with noble temperament slowly found them. Who among you was called Tianxing? Confused, Tianxing slowly stood up. The leader of the team was a woman, who showed endless elegance and nobility in her every move. Our Yunexuan master saw that you have good qualifications, so he specially invited you to went to Yunexuan to cultivate your character. After saying that, the woman took out a warrant and a piece of paper. There were no other words on the paper, but there was a strange mark. Seeing this mark, the master's pupil shrank again. Chapter 137 Adult Champions Cup. Chapter 138 Adult Champions Cup. The Imperial Palace of the Heavendo Empire. Teacher, I don't understand why you still want to win over the guy called Tianxing. The entire Ocean Sect has now been closed down under the oppression of the Ming Empire. The Ocean Sect's power outside is no different from that of no one. After hearing Zhu Qinghe's words, Nian'an slowly turned around. The Ocean Sect is indeed closed down now, but closing down does not mean that it is extinct. What's more, you should know very well how the Ocean Sect, which came out again because of the Ming Empire a few years ago, has developed. The strength is there, and it is a force that cannot be ignored. Nian'an didn't say anything else. The 3 upper sects should be of the same blood to maintain the immortality of the sect. Although they have not reached the point of being of the same blood, they will more or less investigate secretly and try to contact each other. As for Tianxing, if he is really the child of that man, then the Ocean Sect will be very lively. Twin martial spirits, and powerful. After hearing Nian'an's words, Zhu Qinghe's eyes gradually turned cold, and he began to slowly show contempt for Nian'an. Twin martial spirits? Powerful. 20 levels at the age of 8? To be honest, such strength is indeed very good, but it is far from a true evil genius. He had already reached the 3rd ring at the age of 8, not even as good as himself, let alone that man, who had reached the 4th ring at the age of 8. Invisibly, without Nian'an noticing, Nian'an unconsciously compared Tianxing and Nian'an. The child of the person who killed his father in name, compared with the person who hurt him deeply. On the other side, the Ming Embassy. The little guard in the Tiando Empire reported everything he heard to Nian'an. Don't be surprised. After so many years, Nian'an has so many Jinyawe and so many eunuchs in the West Factory. They are idle anyway. Why not hide in the palace of other countries to monitor? Oh sorry, my identity was exposed by mistake. Nian'an, I want to see if you will still like the son of your father's murderer under such circumstances. P.S. Nian'an doesn't know that her father was killed by Bai Dong. From her perspective, she should only know Xiaoyao of the Ocean Sect. After all, when her father died, she already had her own thoughts and memories, otherwise she would not accept the plan of replacing the prince with a cat in the Tiando Empire. Nian'an's face was full of teasing. If Nian'an still fell in love with Tianxing under such circumstances, Nian'an had nothing to say. She is just a love-brained person. If she betrays herself, she will be killed by herself. In the forest somewhere in the Tiando Empire, a blue beam of light shot straight into the sky, and the blue-silver grass suddenly grew wildly. In the middle of the blue-silver grass, 2 beautiful girls leaned against each other, and the gold and blue-silver grass spread everywhere. Countless huge blue-silver grasses slowly bowed to the 2 of them. The next day. Xiaogan, how about we leave? I always feel that it's dangerous for us to stay here. Flanders glanced around from time to time, always feeling that this group of people seemed to be staring at him. Flanders, this is all your psychological effect. As long as you don't look at others, you won't have the feeling that others are staring at your face. Hearing Yu Xiaokong's words, Flanders' forehead veins jumped. Nonsense, of course you don't have that feeling. I went out to wipe the ass last night and kowtowed to apologize to people under the eyes of countless people across the continent. I'll protect your cheating disciple to death. Fland, you should know how important this kind of top competition for young people is to the growth of children. Watching a high-quality game like this is better than playing 10 games in the fighting arena. Don't worry, I promise you that Xiao and Xiaosan will join your Shriek Academy. Welcome everyone to watch the final of the Continental Cup, Adult Champions Cup. The next match is the match between the strongest control system. Next, let us invite Zitian King of the Tiando Empire and Meng Xiaoqi of the Deming Empire. Who will win the strongest control system in the Adult Champions Cup? Let's wait and see. The game begins. As the game started, the two people on the competition stage moved. First soul skill, Tianxing Entanglement. In an instant, a large number of vines sprayed out from Zitian King's hands. Meng Xiaoqi slowly raised a smile at the corner of her mouth, and as the soul power circulated, a terrifying mask slowly appeared on her face. First soul skill, Intimidation. Yeah. A shrill wail resounded. Zitian King's body froze, and 3 seconds later, when he reacted, Meng Xiaoqi had already appeared in front of him. Covered by the azure sky, growing unyieldingly. At the moment when Meng Xiaoqi was about to get close to him, 2 yellow and purple soul rings appeared, and a large number of vines surged out, almost instantly spreading across the entire competition field. Meng Xiaoqi's slender waist was slowly wrapped around, followed by a section of her calf exposed under her little white skirt. I got you. A cruel murderous intent flashed across Zitian King's eyes. Fourth soul skill, Azure Sky Ray Stab. At this moment, the yellow soul ring on Meng Xiaoqi's body flashed. Suddenly, a charming face slowly appeared. Brother, Zitian King was stunned, and before he could react, the third purple soul ring on Meng Xiaoqi's body flashed. Ghost Substitute. 100 hands entangled. The ground suddenly opened and closed, and countless black hands dragged Zitian King down. No, don't. At this time, Zitian King finally reacted, but his fourth soul skill also arrived as promised. Under his body, countless Tianxing vines revealed sharp vine tips, densely packed with countless roots, aiming at Zitian King and stabbing fiercely in an instant. Puchi. No, don't, Tian. Zilin, one of the 3 members of the referee group and Tiando Royal Advanced Soul Master Academy, was furious. 90% of the body was penetrated, too much blood was lost, and the spirit was severely traumatized. Zitian King was rushed to the hospital for treatment. As a member of the referee group, Zilin could not leave immediately. Plop. In the treatment room at the back, countless healing soul masters suddenly fainted. 2 soul masters in black robes, one big and one small, walked in slowly. Kill him, and you will gain more powerful power. Zitian King slowly opened his eyes in confusion, and his pupils shrank sharply in an instant. Zitian King. Puff. Before he could finish, the black vines instantly pierced his throat, and an inexplicable soul power instantly lifted him up. Woo-ah, kakaka. Strange sounds kept coming out of his mouth, and soon 4 yellow and purple soul rings appeared on Zitian King's body. His martial soul, the Tianxing vine, was forcibly pulled out, and countless blood-colored forces were forcibly extracted. Blood and energy continued to flow into Zitian King's body, and slowly the black energy on his body became stronger and stronger, and the originally black and green vines gradually turned blood red. Bang! Bang! The soul power in Zitian King's body began to surge uncontrollably. He was full of energy when he absorbed these things for the first time. Muscle. Watching Zitian King turn into a dried corpse, an old man in black beside Zitian King smiled. It's done and it's done, ha 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 ha. Chapter 138 The Final Showdown. Countless blood-colored forces emerged, and the blood-colored vines were like cats that had tasted blood, and they instantly became excited. They wandered towards the healing soul master who was lying on the ground not far away. Puchi. The sharp vine tips easily pierced the skin of the person who fainted on the ground and began to quickly absorb blood. This is no longer the plant-based martial spirit Azure Ivy. Looking at the blood-colored stripes and the slightest hesitation, it was madly sucking the soul power from the soul master's body. This is clearly the soul-devouring vine. Who are you? Why are you here? What did you do to them? At this moment, the guards of the Tianzing Royal Knights suddenly appeared. Beside Xiaoyao King, an old man in black glanced at Xiaoyao King, and a sneer suddenly appeared at the corner of his mouth. It's fun and worth celebrating to have successfully awakened, but you must always pay attention to your own safety. The purple soul ring on the old man beside Xiaoyao King flashed, and a hideous insect flew out instantly corroding the armor of the Tianzing Royal Knights and entering his flesh. In the blink of an eye, only a skeleton was left. Let's go. After hearing the old man's words, Xiaoyao King looked up blankly. Where are we going? The old man turned around silently. Go to the strongest empire on this continent, where there are many people like us. There, you can grow up quickly until you follow that person and become immortal. Wowla. The shouts of the knights of the Tianzing Royal Knights attracted other knights. When they came here, Xiaoyao King and the deacon of the Holy Spirit Church had already left. All that was left were bloody corpses all over the ground and disgusting pictures. Ugh. Some people with poor psychological quality vomited directly in front of them. Among the knights, a tall man with unmoved eyes slowly walked out. Damn it, there are bad guys hiding in the crowd. No, this matter must be reported to His Royal Highness the Crown Prince. After a while, in the VIP room, Zhu Qinghe, the Crown Prince of the Tianzing Empire, learned about this matter. His brows furrowed instantly. The treatment room was attacked by a high-level soul master, and suffered heavy losses. Zhu Qinghe couldn't understand. He didn't understand who would take such a big risk to assassinate a person who only won a second place in the Continental Cup. If you want to assassinate, shouldn't you assassinate the first place and snatch the soul bone? Moreover, from the mouth of the leader of the knights, Zhu Qinghe also learned that the injuries of these injured people were extremely strange. There were mummies, people whose blood was sucked dry, and people who turned into pus. Such means are obviously not like normal people. But no matter what, the Continental Cup is about to end, and such things must be suppressed. Otherwise, in the Tianzing Square with a large audience, once public opinion rises, the reputation that the Continental Cup is accumulated with great difficulty will also be shaken. Notify the 3 committee members of the Tianzing Royal High-Level Soul Master Academy and let them investigate secretly. Tian. Who is it? Asshole, my Tian, damn it, God is jealous of talents, my son Tianxing has the title, who is so vicious to persecute him? Xiaolan's sobbing voice rang out. I will find you in heaven and hell. Bao Shan felt a little uncomfortable when he saw his old friend become like this. Another committee member Menchunji kept turning his eyes, but accidentally discovered something key. Everyone, look, this wound and fatal wound, how come it looks so much like the sharp attack method of plants? Xiaoling, look, there are plant seeds here, can't it be your enemy when you're young? Menchunji picked up a dark red plant seed and looked at Xiaoling with strange eyes. Xiaoling grabbed the plant seed. Damn it, we're both plant-type soul masters, don't let your family be harmed, don't let me find you. As a plant-type soul duo, Xiaoling still has a little prestige in the soul master world. A seed, let a plant-type soul duo cultivate it, can easily grow into a towering tree, and then the opponent's martial soul will be exposed. I can also complete my revenge. Continental Cup. Adult Champion Cup Agility Attack Final. Tianzing Empire Nian'an vs. Wihan Hall Tianxing. After a fierce fight, the Ming Empire was ultimately unable to match the foundation of the Wihan Hall, and regrettably lost in the agility attack department. In fact, there are not many soul masters around level 40 or 50 inches the Ming Empire. After all, the development of real national soul masters has not even reached 10 years. Except for the Tianxing Academy that was summoned and moved in, which has a little foundation, the others are really not good enough, and they can only barely squeeze into the first class, above the kingdom and below the empire. Not to mention the Wihan Hall, which has a stronger foundation than the empire's soul masters. As for why the control system Meng Xiaoqi could easily defeat Xiaoyao King, isn't it obvious enough? Meng Xiaoqi is an evil spirit master, not a normal practitioner, and can basically crush his peers. Due to the short development time, the Ming Empire suffered a series of defeats. The defensive system lost to the Diamond Mammoth of the Tianzing Empire. The defensive system lost to the healing system. The healing system lost to the auxiliary system. As the 7 Treasures Glazed Tower of the 7 Treasures Glazed Sect defeated the auxiliary system of the Ming Empire, Zhu Qinghe's compliments slowly sounded in a private room somewhere. Teacher, your 7 Treasures Glazed Sect is indeed worthy of being the first auxiliary system martial spirit. Whether it is the Youth Potential Cup or the Adult Champion Cup, the powerful auxiliary ability is still an unshakable existence for others. Hearing this, Nian'an slowly raised his head at a 45-degree angle and looked up at the sky, but a trace of worry flashed in his eyes. Zhu Qinghe was right. But just because he was right, Nian'an's worry grew even greater. Auxiliary system, that is to say, can only rely on others. Although he has Sword Duo and Bone Duo, two powerful title duos in his generation. But what if his daughter inherits the position of the sect master 100 years later? At the time, although Sword Duo and Bone Duo are old, they may still have the strength to fight. What about Rong's child? If this problem is not solved, the safety of the Seven Treasures Glazed Sect will be a problem. You know, the funds in the hands of the Seven Treasures Glazed Sect can be compared with the wealth of a country. My neighbor hoards grain and I hoard guns. My neighbor is my granary. If this problem is not solved, then this sentence is not just talk. So in recent years, the Seven Treasures Glazed Sect has entered the political arena and wanted to please the Ming Empire. Unfortunately, the Ming Empire does not seem to appreciate it, and it can only reach a cooperation with the royal family of the Tianxing Empire. This is also the result of the Seven Treasures Glazed Sect after careful consideration. Weak, there is no way but to rely on others, but this is still risky. That is not close enough. It is not possible that the Seven Treasures Glazed Sect will be kicked out because the benefits are not up to standard one day. Thinking of this, Nian'an slowly raised his head and looked towards the center of the Continental Cup competition stage. Let us congratulate Zhu Han of the Ming Empire for winning the title of the strongest food system. Next is what we have been waiting for a long time, the All-Continental Continental Cup, the final showdown of the strong attack system of the Adult Champion Cup. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic Novel, as there you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 139A. Yin and Tang. Spirit Hall Kaiana vs. Ming Empire Zunianxing. Bang. In the dark, in a private room somewhere, a tea table was overturned. A beautiful woman in a white and gold glazed dress stared at the man wearing a halo mask who slowly walked onto the competition stage. Zunianxing, it's him. But how could this be possible? With his strength, how could he still participate in the Continental Cup? If he participated in this kind of competition with his strength, then what suspense would his department have in the Continental Cup? Sensing the anger of the beautiful woman, a man with a scar on his face and his body hidden in the darkness slowly walked out. Your Holiness, do you need me to expose him and ask the organizer to disqualify him from the competition? Hearing the man's words, Bai Dong's eyes narrowed instantly. In her mind, she kept recalling what the Ming Empire did to the Spirit Hall and to herself. Damn, if it weren't for them, her Spirit Hall should not have to pay any price to participate in the Continental Cup. Now, not only has a lot of money, manpower and material resources been spent, but also a favor has been owed to the old guys in the worship hall. You don't have to go in person, just let the team leader propose it. Bai Dong intends to retaliate, revenge the Ming Empire, but it can't be too obvious. In simple terms, it's like being a whore and wanting to be a saint. After all, the Ming Empire is now powerful, and if the Spirit Hall wants to turn against it, it will definitely not end well. Therefore, it is necessary to show that these are all the team leader's own ideas, and have nothing to do with the Spirit Hall behind the team leader. On the competition field, a man wearing a Joaquin robe, with noble gold and long hair, and a handsome face that does not look like an ordinary person slowly walked onto the competition stage. Kaianya. Kid, you're invincible. You must defeat the Ming Empire and become the strongest in the strong attack department. Kaianya is the only one who has reached the 50th level of Soul King at the age of 18. How can the strong attack department of the Ming Empire compare? 18 years old, 50th level Soul King, to be honest, such talent is indeed very amazing. There are very few people who can achieve this achievement throughout the ages. Basically, you can count them on one hand. But in this generation, there are some. I heard that the strong attack department of the Ming Empire is still a relationship guard. Every time he pretends, he doesn't release his martial soul and soul ring. He flies away when he raises his hand. It can be seen that he has bribed the opposite soul master and pretends every time. Boy, you are finished. In front of Kaianya, all your demonic and weird methods will be revealed without a doubt. Facing many ridicules and cold eyes, Nian'an slowly walked onto the stage. It has been a long time since I felt this way. At the age of 18, he was at level 50. If he were to be born in the present, he would indeed be considered a demon. But if he were to be born in 10,000 years, he would be considered a good genius, but not so outrageous. Come on, I want to see how strong the person who carries all your hopes can be. The gold and soul power continued to flow out of Nian'an's body, and the battle was about to start. Wait, I have an objection. A leader of the Spirit Hall team came over with a serious expression. The referee team was stunned, and then someone came out soon. If you have any objections, please speak up as soon as possible, don't delay that game. After hearing the referee's words, the leader of the Spirit Hall looked at Nian'an on the competition stage with a serious expression. I suspect that Tianxing, the strong attack player of the Ming Empire Adult Champion Cup, cheated. Hearing this, the referee's pupil shrank instantly. Swish, swish, swish. The next moment, countless players stood up on the spot, and then countless spectators outside the venue gradually quieted down. After a moment of silence, there was a shocking uproar. In room No. 1. Xiaoyao frowned instantly. Damn it, who asked him to go? Hurry up and get him out. Xiaoyao or Qianxing's expression was very ugly. The Ming Empire is not like Tianxing, who is barefoot. If cheating is exposed, it will be dealt with according to the law. You know, this nominal Nian'an is the emperor of the Ming Empire. Not to mention that he did not cheat. Even if he did cheat, so what? He said that this strong attack system was his. Can Qianxing have any objection? The referee of the referee group changed his face after hearing the words of the leader of the Spirit Hall. Do you know that reporting requires evidence? Do you have any evidence? After hearing the referee's words, the leader of the Spirit Hall suddenly laughed. Does this require evidence? In the previous match, he didn't even summon his martial soul and spirit rings, and he killed his opponent in an instant. What is this? This is clearly cheating, this is clearly buying off the opponent. Hearing this, Nian'an laughed. According to you, if you don't use martial souls and spirit rings in the game, then that's cheating. Swish. Countless golden spirit powers gathered, and Nian'an suddenly exuded an extremely strong pressure, and instantly pressed towards the leader of the Spirit Hall. Yellow, purple, blab, 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 8 spirit rings flashed, 2 yellow, 2 purple, 4 blab, and the face of the leader of the Spirit Hall turned pale. Nian'an's pressure was only one-sided, pressing towards the leader of the Spirit Hall, so others could not feel it. This kind of spirit power, damn, how could it appear in such a child? The leader of the Spirit Hall was shocked. The person in front of him actually had a pressure that was no less than his soul power, which meant that the person in front of him had at least the cultivation of soul Douluo. But how could this be possible? The selection of the Continental Cup was extremely strict, and bone age would be checked in almost every game. How could the person in front of him, who had the cultivation of soul Douluo, still participate in the Continental Cup? I want to check the age of the Ming Empire players. The leader of the Spirit Hall said as he was about to step forward. I think you don't have the authority to check our players yet. Tap, tap, tap. At this moment, a series of crisp high-heeled shoes rang out slowly. In the distance, 2 beautiful girls in blue long skirts, with veils on their faces and graceful figures, walked slowly. In an inconspicuous corner somewhere, Tianxing watched the 2 women appear, his eyes fixed on the girl with long blue hair, and suddenly a throbbing surged in his heart. You are. Looking at the 2 girls, the leader of the Spirit Hall narrowed his pupils. Beside Nian'an, Douluo widened his eyes. In the dark, Ghost Douluo and Chrysanthemum Douluo narrowed their eyes. Bai Dom stood up slowly, and in the back corner of the Tian'an Empire team, Douluo licked the corner of his mouth. Without anyone noticing, 2 guards appeared beside Xiaoyao, the crown prince of the Tian'an Empire. Blab, 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 red, 7 black and 2 red, a terrifying spirit ring configuration. The gold and blue silver grass slowly appeared in the hands of the black-haired girl in the lead, and then instantly tied up the leader of the Spirit Hall tightly. Before he could react, a huge force suddenly pulled him to the ground. Bang! The one you can't afford to offend. The leader of the Spirit Hall raised his head stiffly, and only then did Nian'an open his mouth slowly. These days, what cats and dogs dare to covet my body? Titled Douluo. Ayin and Tanya came out of confinement. Chapter 140 Huge Fine. Buzz buzz buzz. A pressure far beyond that of a titled Douluo instantly swept the entire venue. The moment they felt this pressure, the pressure on countless soul masters in Tian'an Square instantly doubled. They looked at the woman in the center of the competition stage with horror. Along with the golden blue silver grass, the person who was pulled down quickly spread and grew, and almost in the blink of an eye, it spread across the entire competition stage. After covering the entire competition stage, it spread madly to the surroundings of Tianzhou Square. This is blue silver grass. Golden blue silver grass. With a woman, with a blue silver grass, she cultivated to the level of a titled Douluo, and her soul ring configuration is still so terrifying. Is this the strength of the Ming Empire? Is this the foundation of the Ming Empire? But in terms of the real top combat power, with 2 level 99 ultimate Douluo in his hands, even without the blessing of the divine inheritance, Nian'an is not afraid of all the forces on the continent. In an inconspicuous corner somewhere, Xiao stared at the gold and blue silver grass spreading towards her. Beside him, Flinder's shocked sigh resounded. Blue silver grass, title Douluo. Is there really someone who can cultivate blue silver grass to title Douluo? Look at this blue silver grass, it seems to have evolved, the Ming Empire is so terrifying. Gulp. Tianxing swallowed his saliva as he looked at the blue silver grass in front of him. The gold and blue silver grass made him feel incomparably familiar, but it was a pity that there was a natural gap between them. One was like a fairy in the sky, and the other was on the ground. There was no difference among the billions of blue silver grasses, and he was so sad that he was in the dust. Xiao-san, watch carefully and learn well. This titled Douluo of the Ming Empire is the goal of your blue silver grass martial spirit training. Master Yu Xiaogang was silent for a long time, and finally uttered this sentence. Teacher, looking at this golden blue silver grass, Tianxing always felt unusually familiar, but at this moment, he really couldn't figure out where he had seen it. Slowly fell into memories. Recalling what the teacher said to him last night. If you want to understand your life experience, I don't recommend you to go to the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Sect. At this point, the master slowly turned around and revealed a special hammer pattern. If you want to try to understand your life experience, you can go to Yuexuan, the Royal Etiquette Academy of the Heaven Do Empire, and find the master of Yuexuan. It seems that it is indeed necessary to go to Yuexuan. The appearance of Ayin and Tanya instantly shocked everyone. On the competition stage, Nian'an slowly raised his head with contempt. The farce should also end. Perhaps the only chance you have to meet me in this life is in this Continental Cup. Lifting his foot, Nian'an stepped on the leader of the Spirit Hall who was kneeling in front of him. I'm being honest with all of you. You are not qualified to check my body as the leader of the Spirit Hall. Of course, I'm also talking to the Spirit Hall behind you. Contempt, arrogance. Snap. Kaianya's fists clenched tightly behind him, and his body shone with golden light. Sensing Kaianya's desire to sneak attack Nian'an, a golden blue-silver grass instantly wrapped around him. Turning his head, Nian'an looked at the referee. Of course, you are not qualified, and your referee team is not good enough. If you want to check whether I am qualified to participate, let one of the initiates of the Continental Cup, the Crown Prince of the Tianzhou Empire, Zuking Head, come. Swish. The referee team's faces changed wildly. This Ming Empire contestant, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, is currently serving as regent and is busy with state affairs. Before he could finish, a pair of cold eyes looked at him. This is your business. I'm only responsible for making requests. It is up to you whether I can satisfy them. If I cannot satisfy them, then this is a slander against me by the Spirit Hall. My Ming Empire will investigate it to the end. The Spirit Hall wants to stir up trouble. Want to disgust me? Sure, why not? Nian'an will make them get into trouble. If they want to mess with me, then I will add fuel to the fire and make the fire bigger. Report me for cheating. Whoever advocates, whoever provides evidence, whoever has evidence, whoever dares to convict. The leader of the Spirit Hall was already pale at this time. He began to tremble uncontrollably. He looked up, staring at the man with the halo mask, his heart already filled with fear. What was strong was not that the Ming Empire had a titled Douluo to threaten him, but that this person was so arrogant in front of everyone on the continent, and looked down on the power of other countries, and even the Spirit Hall. And he also felt very clearly that if he hadn't embarrassed the person in front of him, the titled Douluo of the Ming Empire would probably not have appeared at all. So, in the final analysis, it was only his action that led to today's ending. In secret, Ghost Douluo walked forward with a gloomy face and slowly saluted Bai Dong. Your Holiness, do you want me to stop it? Bai Dong's face was extremely ugly, especially when she looked at Ayin beside Tanya. Another one. Another 100,000-year soul beast transformed. Just when Bai Bai Dong was still thinking about the pros and cons, the crowd suddenly dispersed not far away. The luxurious carriage slowly drove over. The neatly dressed Tiando royal knights. The curtain of the luxurious carriage was slowly lifted, and from inside, a young man with short golden hair, noble temperament, a smile, and friendly eyes slowly walked out. Wow! The moment the young man appeared, the whole Tiando square roared. Your Highness the Crown Prince. Welcome to Your Highness the Crown Prince. Your Highness the Crown Prince actually appeared at the Continental Cup. In fact, before Zhu Qinghe became the Crown Prince, Zhu Qinghe's popularity was very high. After all, it was he who pacified the Ming Kingdom on behalf of the Tiando Empire. After that, it was also he who represented the Tiando Empire and the Ming Empire to maintain peace. Then when he was the regent, the Continental Cup was held. Such a grand event for Soul Masters, under such circumstances, how could his popularity not be high? In a corner somewhere, Prince Zhu Exing and Zhu Ben watched the crowd explode after Zhu Qinghe appeared. Alas! Prince Zhu Exing sighed and patted Zhu Ben on the shoulder. His Royal Highness is now fully grown. The only way to overthrow him is through the Imperial Physician. Zhu Qinghe slowly walked to the competition stage, staring at Zhu Nian'an. Asshole, what do you want? Stop messing around, and end the Continental Cup. The closer it got to the end, the more Qian Ringxiu was afraid that Zhu Nian'an would cause trouble. But in the end, things had progressed to the point where she would be put on the spot. She had no choice but to come out to solve the problem. Don't I want to do what His Royal Highness wants? Zhu Nian'an smiled calmly. The next second, Zhu Qinghe raised Zhu Nian'an's right hand with a smile on his face. I have checked the bone age of this player, and his bone age is under 18 years old, which means he is eligible to participate in the Continental Cup. The report of the Spirit Hall is invalid. After discussion by the referee team, a huge fine of 5 million gold soul coins will be issued to the Spirit Hall for maliciously reporting the player. Chapter 141 ends. Bang. Crash, ping pong. In a secret private room somewhere, the table was overturned, and cups and tea fell to the ground. Bai Bai Dong's face was gloomy. Damn it, let's go. Crash. The gorgeous platinum and gold glazed robe was thrown behind her, and Bai Bai Dong left this disgusting place quickly with a gloomy face. Your Holiness, don't we want to see the winner of the strong attack department of the final championship cup? Bai Bai Dong's face was ugly. With that man here, is there any suspense about the ending? After hearing Bai Bai Dong's words, Douluo took over. Then Your Holiness, should we pay the 5 million or not? After hearing Douluo's words, Bai Bai Dong did not stop her steps, and even did not turn her head, and directly ignored it. The Ming Empire repeatedly targeted the Spirit Hall and snatched away the 100,000-year spirit rings and 100,000-year spirit bones that were within her reach. This was a thorn in Bai Bai Dong's heart. 5 million more? This 5 million should be the reward for the Ming Empire snatching away her 100,000-year spirit rings and 100,000-year spirit bones. On the other side, on the competition field, Zhu Qinghe, the Crown Prince of the Tiando Empire, made the final promise and guaranteed it, and the competition field gradually returned to order. Under the attention of the crowd, Zhu Qinghe served as the final referee. Since the misunderstanding has been resolved, I will serve as the assistant referee in the future. Friendship comes first, and competition comes second. Reasonable competition, stop at a certain point, there is no need to fight to the death in a formal competition. Zhu Qinghe said the last exhortation to Zhu Nian'an. And Zhu Nian'an also knew what she meant, but he didn't take it seriously at all. If you provoke me, the Spirit Hall will pay the price. Obviously, these 5 million gold soul coins are not enough. Look up. Zhu Nian'an and Qianya's eyes met. Seeing the murderous intent in Qianya's cold eyes, Zhu Nian'an smiled. It seems that the other party still can't figure out who is the prey and who is the hunter. The game starts. Swish. At the moment the game was announced to start, a pair of golden wings suddenly appeared on Qianya's back. The golden light shone, and the face could not be seen clearly. The figure holding a long sword slowly emerged. Yellow, purple, purple and black, 2 yellow, 2 purple and 1 black, 5 soul rings slowly put on Qianya's body. First soul skill, Angel Assault. Without any hesitation or pause, the moment the game started, the moment the martial spirit was possessed, the first soul ring on Qianya's body flashed. Then, a golden light enveloped his hand, and the golden longsword instantly stabbed Zhu Nian'an. Bang! When he was 3 meters away from Nian'an, he was suddenly blocked by a golden defensive shield. The longsword fiercely stacked at the defensive shield, and the defensive shield condensed by soul power caused water ripples to appear around it. Seeing that his first soul skill could not attack Nian'an at all, Xiaoyao retreated without hesitation, and the second yellow soul ring on his body flashed. Countless golden lights gathered on the angel behind him, and the wings behind the angel trembled. The next moment, it flew out instantly. Puff. Puff. Third soul skill, whirlwind wing slash. With a flash of purple light, the next moment, a golden light blade instantly broke through Nian'an's defensive shield. Nian'an raised his eyebrows. This time he did not summon a defensive shield, but just silently watched Xiaoyao's actions. It seemed that he was waiting for the other party's next move. Humph, you are simply overestimating your own abilities and looking for death. Fourth soul skill, Angel Roar. Ah. With the rise of a purple soul ring, Xiaoyao suddenly opened his mouth, and the next moment, a sound wave attack suddenly attacked Nian'an. Ridiculous, an ant trying to shake a tree. Now, after so many rounds of strengthening, Nian'an's spiritual power has already condensed into a spiritual sea. Even the spiritual power of a titled Douluo is much inferior to his, let alone the spiritual attack of a Soul King. Raising his hand, Nian'an instantly condensed a golden longsword made of soul power in his hand. Shut up. The moment these two words were spoken, the longsword in his hand was instantly shot out. Referee group. Xiaoyao frowned. Prepare to save, puff. Before he could finish his words, the sound of a sharp blade piercing the flesh instantly rang out. Puff. A mouthful of blood spit out, and Xiaoyao's spirit instantly became weak. This, how is it possible? Xiaoyao widened his eyes and stared at Nian'an, the shock in his eyes almost revealing the essence. In fact, Nian'an never showed his strength to everyone from beginning to end. The only time in that Continental Cup, he just released his pressure, and it was one way to the leader of the Spirit Hall. Xiaoyao is a Soul King. If Nian'an didn't clearly release pressure on him, he wouldn't even have the chance to know. Because he was not qualified. Buzz buzz buzz. The golden light continued to gather, and Xiaoyao gritted his teeth and stood up. The powerful soul power in his body broke the longsword that Nian'an shot into his abdomen. The golden light continued to repair the injury in his abdomen. Victory belongs to the Spirit Hall and the Angel Clan. With his loud shout, Xiaoyao's soul power was mobilized, and the angel figure behind him became more and more powerful. The golden longsword in his hand kept trembling, and a black soul ring slowly fell. Xiaoyao. Spirit Hall, Angel Clan. Xiaoyao's branch, is a very talented person among the Angel Clan. This time, he was summoned by the Great Priest to perform an opportunity to make a name for the Spirit Hall. Taking this opportunity, he can also restore the glory of the angels. But, I didn't expect it. The Spirit Hall was not taken seriously at all in the Continental Cup, and was even deliberately targeted. The man in front of him insulted the Spirit Hall, and this alone was a capital crime. Perhaps under the stage, his status was noble, and the elders of the Spirit Hall might not be willing to offend him. But this was in the competition. Even if he was noble and powerful in the Ming Empire, insulting the Spirit Hall would be an insult to the Angel Temple and the Xian family, so, he must die. Fifth soul skill, Angel Holy Sword. A huge sacred and bright longsword suddenly appeared, yellow, and purple, soul rings slowly appeared and were put on the longsword. Until the last huge black 10,000-year soul ring, it empowered this huge sacred and bright longsword. Boom. As the longsword slowly moved, sharp sword energy swept around. Pay the price for insulting the Spirit Hall. Glory to the Spirit Hall, long live the Angel Tribe. Feeling the energy contained in this attack, Nian'an raised his eyebrows. As expected of a top-level spirit angel, it contains the attributes of light and fire. This fifth soul skill is probably not something that an ordinary six-ring soul emperor can handle. Unfortunately, Nian'an is not a soul emperor. Glancing at the huge sword, Nian'an's lips under the mask slowly curled up. It is the greatest honor of your life to let me use your spirit at your level. This alone is enough for you to be proud of yourself. The moment Nian'an finished speaking, countless golden lights gathered, and pieces of golden dragon scales appeared slightly. Yin. The referee team. Xiaoyang's pupils shrank fiercely, and anger flashed in his eyes, anger at his lack of resistance, blame, resentment. In the end, he clenched his fists tightly and turned away. Chapter 142 Post-match turmoil. Buzz. Hum. 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 The sound of swords chirping, like the sound of dragons, is so loud and so resonant. The golden light column, with Nian'an as the center and the competition stage as the initial starting point, spreads wildly to the surroundings. Almost in the blink of an eye, it instantly covers the entire competition stage. Enveloped by a strong golden light, a light force that is purer, more dazzling, and more powerful than Xiaoyao suddenly emerges. In the eyes of countless people, under the illumination of countless cameras, the outline of a great figure slowly appears on the competition stage. He is tall and majestic. Just a back view makes countless soul masters below level 70 who have not yet opened their martial soul true bodies unable to bear this great pressure, and they summon their martial soul spirit rings to resist. This is the contestants who have already decided the final winner under the competition stage stand up one after another, their eyes fixed on the stage. Puff. The next moment, a strong sword energy flashed. The golden light continued to surge. Nian'an swung the long sword in his hand fiercely. The sword energy emitted by the long sword in his hand was long and invincible. Facing Xiaoyao's fifth soul skill, the opponent's soul skill, the angel sword, was crushed into pieces almost at the moment it touched it. Crack! How is this possible? Xiaoyao widened his eyes and could only watch the angel sword with his 5 soul rings in front of him being crushed into pieces. Buzz puff! A golden light quickly passed through Xiaoyao's neck, and in an instant, the expression on Xiaoyao's face froze. The look in his eyes quickly lost its spirit. Waiting for the golden light to dissipate, the golden pupils behind the halo mask on Nian'an's face slowly faded. The long black hair gradually turned golden. But at the moment of putting away the martial spirit, it instantly turned back to black. Black pupils. Snap. Crash. A head fell from the sky. The stage and even the whole Tianxing city were quiet for a moment, and then there was an uproar. Instant kill, one move, and one move. If I remember correctly, this strong attack from the Ming Empire only used one attack method in each round of the strong attack competition of the Continental Cup. This attack method can perfectly solve the opponent. People once thought that he used money to buy off the opponent. Soul Master kills in seconds, Soul Sect kills in seconds, and now Soul King still kills in seconds. Facing the flattery of others, the people of the Ming Empire who followed the Ming Empire team to Tianxing City and watched the battle of the Ming main team were full of pride. See? This is how powerful our Ming dynasty royal family is. With just a little move, it's already the limit that the Continental Cup can accommodate. See? That's our Tao Master, young and promising. Did you see the pressure he released the moment he made a move? Even the Soul Emperor had to release his spirit to resist. Swish. In the team of the Spirit Hall, the players of the Spirit Hall looked at the competition stage with gloomy faces. How is this possible? Asshole, he killed Xiaoyao. You have to know that Xiaoyao was a genius that Bai Dom had to ask the Worship Hall to get with great difficulty. Originally, he wanted to win glory for the Spirit Hall in the Continental Cup. Unexpectedly, not only did he not win glory for the Spirit Hall and win the Continental Cup, Adult Champion Cup, but he died directly on the stage of the Continental Cup. That's right, Xiaoyao was beheaded by Nian'an with a sword. Blood gushed out, white flesh kept twitching. If it was Nian'an who had just traveled through time, he would definitely not be able to accept it. Regardless of whether you're an adult or a minor, or even a teenager before crossing over. This is caused by the living environment. In his previous life, Nian'an lived in a prosperous, peaceful, stable, and powerful country. Although his family was not well off, as long as nothing unexpected happened, he basically had no contact with such bloody scenes in this life. What's more, people are different from chickens and ducks, which can bring out the disgusting desires in their hearts. Unfortunately, Nian'an has been crossing over for nearly 10 years. In these 10 years, he killed people with his own hands for the first time to prove the kingly way. He drowned 200,000 enemy troops, occupied the empire, recovered the lost land, and forcibly attacked the kingdom that interfered with the political affairs of the Ming dynasty because of the support of the empire. He once had 1 million corpses floating in his anger, and wiped out a tribe with a population of 1 million. All these things, each one of them was a decision that resulted in the death of thousands, tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of people. Nian'an had long since developed an unwavering killing heart. Killing a person, let alone the Wuhan Hall, even the Pope Elder, there is no psychological burden. Let us congratulate, the referee team was silent for a long time, and finally decided to ignore the dead Spirit Hall player under Zhu Qinghe's suggestion. When they were about to announce the victory, the Spirit Hall could not sit still. Murderer. Punish the murderer severely. Yes, the murderer must be punished severely. A beautiful woman with a charming face and a hot body slowly walked out of the Spirit Hall team. She glared at the referee team. The murderer must be punished severely. Our teacher just questioned him, but since he did not produce any substantial evidence, he was fined a high amount even so. But the Ming Empire player killed people in public, and countless people saw it. The murderer must be punished severely. Before the game, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince of the Tianxing Empire repeatedly warned that friendship first and competition second, but I didn't expect this to happen. This is a sad night for my Spirit Hall. Although it was only a woman who spoke, her achievements and even the status she obtained in the Continental Cup were not low. The strongest agility attack spirit master in the Adult Champion Cup. After hearing her protest, the referee team's face suddenly changed. Unexpectedly, when it was almost over, something went wrong. Jill eager. All the referees in the referee team returned, even the referees who were recording and taking pictures returned to the referee team as soon as possible. Then there was another round of discussion. Backstage. Nian'an had already taken his soul bone and other rewards. Because this originally belonged to him. When the Spirit Hall was still foolishly appealing and demanding heavy punishment for the murderer, little did they know that Nian'an had already left the Continental Cup. At this time, the referee team on the surface was still discussing, but the actual referee team had already gone to ask for instructions from the regent, the Crown Prince Xiaoyao. Soon Xiaoyao was issued, and the referee team issued its own announcement as soon as possible. Due to the Continental Cup, Adult Champion Cup, the final of the strong attack system, in a match between Tianxing of the Ming Empire and Xiaoyao of the Spirit Hall, Xiaoyao unfortunately died during the match. Here, the referee team kindly reminds you. The game is a battle of spirits, and the battle of spirits is dangerous. With danger, there will be injuries, and with injuries, there will be death, but the risk is too low. After investigation, Tianxing did not have the intention of maliciously killing his opponent, so the Continental Cup referee team will not punish Tianxing. Therefore, the Continental Cup ended perfectly. Chapter 143 Tianxing recognizes his relatives. How is this possible? Swish. The faces of many teachers and students of the Spirit Hall suddenly turned pale. They suddenly felt a huge dark curtain, like an invisible big hand, covering the sky, and they had no way to escape. There was no way to go up to the sky, and no door to go down to the earth. But, why is this? Shouldn't the Spirit Hall be favored by the dark curtain and the back door? Before, whether it was the All-Continental Advanced Soul Master Academy competition or other activities, they should have enjoyed this treatment. Why didn't it work in this Continental Cup? Moreover, the Spirit Hall was right this time. The genius of the Spirit Hall died, so is this it? This was given high hopes. With Xiaoyao's cultivation talent, he would break through to the titled Douluo sooner or later, it was just a matter of time. He died for no reason, and no one else has made any explanation. How could this happen? Teacher, should we report to His Holiness the Pope? Let the elders of the Spirit Hall come forward and make them pay the price. The Ming Empire is obviously in the same blood with the Tianxing Empire and is doing this on purpose. The leader of the Spirit Hall looked grim. Find His Holiness the Pope. Sending out titled Douluo can make the Ming Empire, or the Tianxing Empire, pay the price. You're kidding. After he knelt down in front of a child who was less than 20 years old, until the titled Douluo of the Ming Empire came forward, the elder of the Spirit Hall who asked him to come forward to make trouble did not show up. At that moment, the leader of the Spirit Hall knew that he had offended someone he shouldn't have offended. Otherwise, with the temper of the Spirit Hall, how could it tolerate others riding on its head and shitting? It had already found a random reason to cause trouble for the Tianxing Empire and the Ming Empire. Of course, they are obviously hitting a wall now, otherwise, it would not be so abnormal. The only possible explanation is that the person offended this time is a little bit difficult for the Spirit Hall to offend. Tap tap tap. The crisp footsteps began to slow down and came quickly from the other end of the private room. When the two women in blue dresses were seen, the team of the Spirit Hall could clearly see that they were gritting their teeth and their faces turned blue. Yo, if you are not as skilled as others, then find the referee. Okay, too good, will you go home and tell your mother if I beat you to tears? Behind that blue dress, a young man in the golden costume of the Ming Empire spoke. However, the tone of his voice had a hint of meanness. If you are not good, practice more. If you can't afford to play, don't play. Accompanied by bursts of sneers, the team of the Ming Empire came and went quickly. Teacher, don't hesitate, go. Damn it, damn it, damn it, it really pissed me off. In the team of the Spirit Hall, all the contestants were very angry. Enough. The leader of the Spirit Hall shouted. If you guys are more aggressive, why should we let the Ming Empire take the limelight? The people of the Ming Empire are right. If you are not good enough, you should practice more. Just because you can't beat them now doesn't mean you can't beat them in the future. A few days later, Tianzing Square directly announced the strongest of the 7 departments of the Adult Champion Cup and the strongest of the 7 departments of the Youth Potential Cup. As the offensive department with the highest gold content, the strongest lethality, and the most stable gold content among the 7 departments, he did not hesitate at all and directly defended his title as the uncrowned king. When the huge golden trophies were handed to the 14 people, many of them blushed and were extremely excited. Half of these 14 people represent the 7 most potential people in the continent, and half represent the 7 strongest people in the current adult stage. Our Continental Cup will always pay attention to their growth. Thank them for opening a perfect prelude to the Continental Cup. Of course, most of these 14 people have their own forces, such as the Spirit Hall, the 7 Treasures Glazed Sect, and the Ming Empire. These types of people will basically not be poached. If he wants to dig, he will dig the second echelon, that is, the people they defeated in the semi-finals, or attract some talented players who have not played well. Of course, there was a small episode during the award ceremony of the Continental Cup. The strongest defensive player in Kilikris was fed some kind of magic potion by Zhu Qinghao. He swore to join the nationality of the Tianzing Empire on the spot, and also said that classic saying. The air in the Tianzing Empire is sweet, much clearer than that of the country shrouded in war all year round. The leader of Kilikris was almost mad to death and lost face. It was not easy to produce a potential player, but he was dug away by the Tianzing Empire. The angry Kilikris Kingdom wanted to hold a United Nations meeting more than once to strongly condemn the actions of the Tianzing Empire. Unfortunately, it was not clean either, and it still left a way out in the end. Off stage. Tianxing turned his head and looked at Master Xiao, Flanders and even Oscar looking at the envy and expectation of the 14 people on the stage. He gritted his teeth in his heart. Next time in that Continental Cup, I must change my sister's admiring eyes and my teacher's envious eyes, and prove to the whole continent that I, Tianxing, am not inferior to others in my life. Night. Tianzing City. In a humble little hotel somewhere, Tianxing tossed and turned and couldn't sleep. His sister's admiring eyes and his teacher's envious eyes were like a thorn, which hurt him so much that he couldn't sleep. The 24 bridges on his waist flashed in the moonlight, and a token appeared in Tianxing's hand. Next time in that Continental Cup, I will definitely be the only one in the control department. Standing up, Tianxing ran quickly towards the Tianzing Empire Palace Etiquette Academy without any hesitation. Who are you looking for? After a long time of running, Tianxing's legs were numb, and he finally came here. The gold and blue-silver grass inspired Tianxing to find his own life experience. He also felt a little familiar with one of the 2 people. Maybe they were related by blood. Wouldn't it be faster to practice this way? In front of the luxurious gate of Yuexuan. The guard looked at Tianxing's simple clothes and his face looked a little wrong. Please inform your Yuexuan pavilion master that Tianxing, whom she wants to see, is here. 3 minutes later, Tianxing saw a beautiful girl. Yes, Tang Yuihua now looked a bit like a young woman, but more like a young girl. Tang Yuihua's eyes lit up instantly when she saw Tianxing. Tianxing. Tianxing frowned and nodded. Your father is, thinking of what his teacher told him. If he wanted to know about his life experience, he could go to Yuexuan to find Yuexuan Pavilion Master Tang Yuihua. Tianxing didn't hesitate at all and directly said Tang Yao's name. My father's name is Tang Yao. But the next moment, Tianxing felt that he was hugged instantly. Child, I'm your aunt. Thank you for your hard work, thank you for your hard work. Tianxing's pupils shook violently. Aunt, can you tell me about my father? Also, I don't know where my father went. Do you know if you have any news about him? Looking at Tianxing's thin body, Tang Yuihua's eyes gradually turned red. If it were in the Ocean sect, children of this age would be growing up and as strong as bulls. This nephew who was stranded outside had fallen to this point. It seemed that it was the fault of me as an aunt. Your name is Tianxing, right? Aunt Xiaozan will slowly make up for what I owe you. Your father, don't worry, tell me first, how you have been living these years. P.S. Check in for more updates. Chapter 144 Crazy Xiaoyao. Swish. Feeling Tang Yuihua's gentle care, carefully soothing the empty heart for so many years. In that moment, Tang San's eyes were red. In 2 lives, he was an orphan without parents in his previous life. Fortunately, he had the help of an outer sect elder who was both a teacher and a father, so that he felt a little bit of father's love. But it was just a little bit. In this life, it is not as shabby as in the previous life, and he is not without a father or a mother. This time he has a father. Although he has never taken care of him, Tang San can feel the father's love that flashes occasionally. In 2 lives, he has no mother. He has never felt maternal love. Instead, he felt a little bit of love from his aunt, whom he had never met before. Love instantly filled him up, and even almost broke his state of mind for so many years, and his eyes were red. No, nothing, just a little bit of wind and frost. Although Tang San did not say anything, Tang Yuihua knew that Tang San should not have had a good life in the past few years. It can be seen from the second brother who used to be full of vigor and vitality, but now is crazy, insane and in a mess. From now on, you are not alone, and those days without a father and a mother are about to leave you. Because now you not only have me, your aunt, but also your father Xiaoyao. Swish. Tang San looked up instantly. Aunt, you mean, my father is, with you? Tang San was overjoyed, his hands were shaking. How long has it been? 2 years, almost 2 years, I haven't heard from my father Xiaoyao. God knows where he went. When I came back from Noting Junior Soul Master Academy, I saw the words next to the forging table. Tang San's heart sank. What about taking back everything I have? I want to be a real man. In addition, there was no news after he left. Although Tang San didn't want to admit it, in his heart, he still had a vague guess that his father must have experienced something, and then failed and died. Now there is news about his father, how can Tang San not be happy? Seeing Tang San's delight, Tang Yuihua hesitated to speak, wanting to say something, but in the end she couldn't say it. Aunt, hurry up, take me to see my father. I haven't seen him in person for 2 years. At this point, Tang Yuihua knew that this matter could no longer be concealed. Xiao-san, I hope you can be mentally prepared. Tang Yuihua suddenly spoke as they approached the destination. Tang San was stunned. The sense of foreboding suddenly rose in his heart. Walking into the basement, a cold iron door appeared. In this dim basement, not long after walking, Tang San saw a huge cage. Made of cold steel. Inside this steel, a beam of light hit the center of the steel cage. In the center of this steel cage, slowly sat a man with messy hair and beard, tied up with iron chains all over his body. Although this man's beard and hair were messy, the moment he saw this man, Tang San still recognized this man. Dad. That is me. You, what happened to you? How did you become like this? Holding the steel cage tightly with both hands, Tang San stared at the man not far away, but after a while, his sanity returned. How could his father be here? And why is he imprisoned now? Why is he tied up? Scenes flashed through his mind, and Tang San turned around in an instant. He was a suspicious person, and should have been wary of his aunt whom he had never met. It was just that the other party talked about his father and hadn't seen Xiaoyao for 2 years. In addition, teacher Yu Xiaogang said that he could trust the master of Yuexuan of Tiando Royal Etiquette Academy, so Tang San's vigilance against Tang Yuihua would be reduced. But since entering the basement, the scenes in front of him and his imprisoned father have all reminded Tang San. Seeing Tang San's vigilant eyes, Tang Yuihua was startled by Tang San's calm thinking, and when she reacted, she hurriedly said, "Misunderstanding, Xiao-san, you misunderstood. I'm really your aunt. Your father Xiaoyao is my second brother. The reason why he has become like this now is because of some unspeakable reasons." Tang Yuihua wanted to explain in a panic, but Tang San didn't listen at all. He interrupted Tang Yuihua's mouth as she wanted to continue talking. "Shut up, I won't listen. I need you to take out the key to the cage where my father is imprisoned, otherwise." At this point, a purple light suddenly lit up in Tang San's eyes. Tang San had examined Tang Yuihua, but she was just an ordinary person. As long as he wanted, he could kill her at any time. Tang San calmly put his right hand behind his back. The moment he gently pressed on the 24 bridges on his waist, a beautifully crafted weapon appeared in his hand. "No, no, your father is now." Without waiting for Tang Yuihua to finish, Tang San instantly took out the huge crossbow that had been hidden behind his back. When the cold muzzle was pointed at Tang Yuihua instantly fell silent. "I said, give me the key. Master Chuan, I think you don't want to stay in this dark basement forever, right?" Hearing Tang San's emotionless voice, Tang Yuihuo hesitated for a while, but finally handed the key to Tang San. Xiao San, listen to me, your father is no longer your previous father, stay away from him for a while. Hearing this, Tang San sneered, not his previous father, nonsense, his father has become so embarrassed, it would be strange if he could be the previous one. Opening the cold cage door, Tang San deliberately pulled out the key directly. In this way, even if he went in, Tang Yuihuo could open it if she wanted to close it. He came to Tang Yao in the cell without stopping, stretched out his hand and wanted to directly untie the iron chain on him. Dad, it's me, Dad. I don't know if the call worked, or his appearance alarmed Tang Yao. Tang Yao instantly widened his eyes. Looking at the boy in front of him, his eyes were indifferent. Bang! A huge force directly lifted Tang San up and he fell to the ground. Tang San covered his face and stared blankly at Tang Yao in front of him. Dad, yes, it's me. Tang Yao looked indifferent, and flames gradually appeared in his eyes. Get out. I don't have a son like you. Get out, I don't have a son, I want Yin, give me Yin back. The powerful pressure spread instantly. Bang. In just a moment, Tang San was pressed to the ground by the powerful pressure. Dad. Crack. Tang San only felt that all the bones in his body were crushed and rubbed by the powerful pressure, and his whole body began to spasm and twitch. It seemed that he was about to be crushed into a meat paste by the powerful pressure. At the critical moment, an angry female voice suddenly rang out behind him. Second brother, are you going to kill the child you and Ian had with your own hands? Chapter 145. Father's kindness and son's filial piety. Clang. Clang. The huge sound of the iron chain ran out, but after a while, the pressure gradually weakened until it finally stopped. The crisp sound of high heels rang out, and Tang Yuihuo walked slowly beside him and came to Tang Yao. Tang San looked up. Yuihuo, don't be angry, second brother will protect you. He raised his hand, but this time he didn't go to hit anyone. Tang Yao, with untidy hair and beard, stroked Tang Yuihuo's head a little anxiously, trying to appease Tang Yuihuo's anger. Looking at Tang Yao, who was just like when he was a child, carefully appeasing and protecting him, Tang Yuihuo couldn't hold it anymore, and 2 tears flowed from the corners of his eyes. Ever since the Ming Empire surrounded the Xiaoyao sect, the leader of the Xiaoyao sect, Tang Xiao, committed suicide, and he watched his eldest brother commit suicide with his own eyes. At the time, Tang Yao was hunted down by the elders of the Law Enforcement Hall, and fell into a weak period after the 9 rings exploded. There was no ability to stop or change it. Under the strong excitement, the mental breakdown began to show some abnormality. It was okay in the first few days, but it became more and more serious until Tang Yuihuo saw Tang Yao fainted in the back mounting. After waking up, Tang Yao wanted Yin, and Yin started to go crazy after not seeing her for a long time. Beating people, even killing people, Tang Yuihuo finally withstood the pressure from everyone, and was blown away by the powerful pressure from Tang Yao more than once. Her body was blue and purple, and there was no piece of meat that was normal. After unremitting efforts, under the call of the second brother, Tang Yao recovered a little bit. But it was only a little bit. Now Tang Yao didn't recognize anyone, only Yin, and Tang Yuihuo. Tang Yuihuo had no choice but to lock Tang Yao up and not allow anyone except her to get close. Now even every meal of Tang Yao was delivered by her personally. In addition, Tang Yuihuo also had to look for prescriptions for curing mental illness. In any case, Tang Yuihuo was willing, because in this world, the person closest to her might be Tang Yao. How could it become like this? Tang San was shocked. Being beaten by Tang Yao was something Tang San did not expect. What he did not expect was that he was almost killed by his own father. Dad, it's me, I am Tang San, I'm your child. Tang San saw the intimacy between Tang Yuihuo and Tang Yao and wanted to get closer. Unfortunately, Tang Yao noticed it, narrowed his eyes, and his momentum changed instantly. Don't even think about hurting Yuihuo. Bang! Tang Yao raised his fist as big as a sandbag. Although he did not have time to mobilize his soul power because of the extremely fast punching speed, even this simple punch instantly knocked Tang San away. His teeth fell out one by one. Xiao San. Tang Yuihuo's face changed drastically when she saw this scene. She quickly stepped forward to help Tang San up. Looking at Tang Yuihuo, Tang San believed it. He believed that Tang Yuihuo was his aunt and his father's sister. But Tang San didn't understand why his father would become like this, and actually treat his own child so harshly. Dad. Tianxing called out sincerely, trying to awaken the family affection in Tang Yao's blood. Unfortunately, although the word "dad" in his mouth was so emotional, it was simply an insult to himself in Tang Yao's mind. I don't have a child. I love Yin. I will marry Yin. In this life, no one else can be except Yin. You have already chosen death by defaming my innocence. At this time, Tang Yao's chaotic mind had a few memories, brother and sister Yin, in which his brother died tragically and his sister needed his protection. Yin left him for some reason. He wanted to find her and marry her, and the person in front of him who called him dad was defaming his innocence. If Yin heard it, she would definitely misunderstand and would definitely ignore him. So, he must die. Thinking of this, almost instantly, Tang Yao's eyes were filled with angry flames and monstrous killing intent. Almost instantly, the killing field unfolded. Tianxing's face changed. His face turned pale in an instant. Even though they were both human beings and had killed at least 50 people, they still seemed insignificant under the killing field. Tang Yui, who was standing by, could not sit still. This was a sign that Tang Yao had killed people after going crazy. If he had killed someone else, it would be fine, but this was Tianxing, his own nephew, his own second brother Tang Yao, his own son. No, second brother, don't do stupid things. Tang Yui quickly stepped forward and blocked Tang Yao. Plop. Under the killing field, Tianxing knelt on the ground with red eyes, bearing great pressure. Rustling countless blue-silver grass gushed out from his palm, and soon the clear sky hammer in his left hand was released. He must die. Listening to Tang Yao's words, Tang Yui's face was pale. Tianxing, go, hurry, leave here, your father is no longer your father, I will explain to you later, now leave quickly, otherwise, you'll die. The 3 words of death hurt Tianxing thoroughly. Bang. The powerful spirit power shattered Tianxing's clothes. Tianxing stood up tremblingly with red eyes, and looked at Tang Yao who was emitting a strong pressure. His expression gradually became serious. Plop. The next moment, Tianxing knelt down instantly. The body and hair are given by parents, Tianxing's life was given by my parents, and now my father wants to take my life away. If taking my life away can make you feel better, Tianxing has nothing to say. Looking at Tianxing's coquettish operation, Tang Yui was stunned and almost didn't react. Silly child, you, alas, to put it bluntly, your father now only has memories of his childhood and when he met your mother, and no memory of you at all, which means that he doesn't know you at all now. If you annoy him like this, he will kill you. After hearing Tang Yui's words, Tianxing raised his head instantly. What? Why didn't you say it earlier? The reason why Tianxing did this was that he was sure that Tang Yao had not killed him. After all, his sister loved him so much, it didn't make sense for him to beat or scold his son. He wanted to show the deep love between father and son, move people, and bring the relationship between father and son closer. Unexpectedly, Tianxing quickly stood up, and at the same time, he didn't forget to explain. Father's essence and mother's blood, how can I abandon it, aunt saved me. After saying that, Tianxing wanted to quickly stand up and avoid Tang Yao. Unfortunately, due to Tang Yui's negligence, Tang Yao moved, quickly approached Tianxing, raised his hand and gathered his soul power, and hammered Tianxing heavily. A huge fist mark appeared in the sky. Bang! The fist hit Tianxing's chest hard, and Tianxing's chest quickly caved in. It seemed that Tianxing's whole body was about to be flattened, and the 24 bridges on his waist exploded. Tianxing's things quickly fell. Among these things, a golden blue flower quickly floated towards Tang Yao. Seeing this thing, Tang Yao stopped instantly, and his pupils trembled. Yin, where is my Yin? P.S. Happy New Year, I'll take a day off today, and I'll update tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. There's nothing more to write, and then destroy the sun and the moon, and start the second battle. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novel, as there you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 146. The starting point is World War II. Looking at the gold and blue flower, Tang Yao's pupils shrank sharply. His mind was experiencing a storm, and scenes suddenly flashed. The beautiful scene with Yin. The scene of being hunted. And even, the scene of Yin sacrificing herself to him in the end. Take good care of our child. The last sentence echoed in Tang Yao's mind for a long time. The scenes in front of him kept shuttling back and forth, directly traveling back from 8 years ago to today. Bang! Ho 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 ho! Tianxing knelt on the ground, gasping for air, as if he had just experienced something horrible. Soon his eyes were bloodshot. Second brother. Tang Yuihui wanted to help Tang San, but suddenly found that Tianxing collapsed on the ground. She immediately stood in the middle and began to hesitate. No, don't worry about me, go to see Xiao San. After holding it in for a long time, Tianxing finally said this. While Tang Yuihui went to check on Tang San's injuries, Tianxing struggled to get up and slowly tied up his body with iron chains. Clang clang clang. The sound of the iron chains hitting the ground was so harsh. After a while, Tianxing walked to the center of the iron cage, where the beam of light shone, and slowly sat down, with his back to Tang Yuihui and Tang San. Dad, Dad. Tang San was shocked. Blood kept flowing from his mouth, breathing rapidly, and his collapsed chest was extremely obvious. No, I'm not a good father, I'm not a good husband, and I'm not a good brother or younger brother. As a man, I didn't take good care of my son and protect my wife. As a brother, I made my sister in the dilemma. As a younger brother, I always made my brother worry, and even paid the price of my life in the end. I'm not a good son. Seeing that Tang Yao's emotions had calmed down, Tang Yuihui and Tang San breathed a sigh of relief. Dad, you've recovered. Do you remember me? Tang San forced a smile on his painful face. It seems that his family knife is really useful. After all, he is his biological child. As for why he was injured. Accident. Purely accidental. If it weren't for Tang Yuihui's interference and releasing the wrong message, he wouldn't have run away at all. If he didn't run, he wouldn't have been injured. Thinking of this, Tang San became more excited, and the injuries on his body didn't hurt so much. Dad. And Tang Yao. With his back to Tang San, Tang Yao held the golden and blue vine flowers tightly in his palm, his face full of nostalgia. Finally, he felt guilty, and then his face became firm. Second brother. Tang Yuihui finally brought Tang San to Tang Yao and stopped 3 meters away. This distance is the limit of the iron chain that can stop Tang Yao. If it's closer, if Tang Yao still goes crazy, it will be dangerous. Don't come over, you also know what my situation is now. I can't control myself now. Tang Yao refused. Tang Yuihui looked worried, but thinking of Tang San who was still injured, she finally gritted her teeth and wanted to take Tang San away. Wait, Tang Yao held the gold and blue flower tightly in his hand, and finally loosened his right hand with trembling and took it out. The person who has this martial spirit is your mother. After hearing Tang Yao's words, Tang San, who was in so much pain that he couldn't breathe, suddenly widened his eyes, and then shrank sharply. Mom. This familiar yet unfamiliar word. Familiar in that he knew the meaning of these 2 words. Strange in that, whether in the past life or this life, he didn't. But when he thought of his father's words. The person who has this martial spirit is his mother. Take a closer look. The flower in his father's hand, that's right, it's a flower. And this flower is the Great Ming Empire. That's right, this is the blue-silver grass flower that Tang San collected in the final of the Continental Cup's strong attack department. Because he felt very familiar and wanted to get close to her, he went to collect them. Unexpectedly, they fell into his father's hands, and accidentally involved his mother. What Tang San didn't know was that the moment he said the 4 words Great Ming Empire, Tang Yao, who was carrying them, had his pupils shrink sharply. In his mind, pictures flashed quickly. Finally, they stopped at Douluo Mountain, at the foot of a Xiaoyao sect, with countless flying sun and moon flags, and the mid-army wearing silver armor and white robes surrounded the entire Xiaoyao sect. The eldest brother committed suicide in front of him. As the pictures flashed by, Tang Yao's chest kept rising and falling, and a blood-colored murderous aura instantly burst out from his body. Ah! The powerful soul power instantly scattered. My yin, where is my yin? Tang Yuihui's face changed. She took Tang San out of the cage quickly and closed it. The next second, the whole cage lit up with golden light. Aunt, Dad is here. Tang San was shocked. Tang Yuihui's face was uncertain, but soon returned to normal. It's okay, when your strength reaches a certain level, I will tell you everything. Looking at the crazy Tang Yao in the cage, Tang San was thoughtful. He knew that his father must have experienced something, which caused him to have intense emotions and mental problems in the end. Don't worry, one day I will heal your mind and let you regain your freedom. Of course, I will find Mom. At this time, the mom in Tianxing's mouth, the Ming Empire. After the Continental Cup ended, the players of the Adult Champion Cup and the Youth Potential Cup were vying for attention by various colleges. The top-ranked players also made a name for themselves and began to become famous in various regions. The reputation of Soul Masters rose rapidly on the mainland. The team of the Ming Empire returned to the Ming Empire and was warmly welcomed by the people of the Ming Empire. Because they were all heroes who fought for the glory of the Ming Empire. After that, Nian'an did not see people as Nianxing. The Ming Palace. Your Majesty, the person you want is here. After a while, a young woman wearing a light blue dress and veil slowly walked over. That's right, a young woman, a young woman. Take off your veil and let me take a good look. After hearing Nian'an's words, the young woman trembled, but still took off her veil. The facial features on her small face were delicate, her figure was graceful, and most importantly, the kind of temperament that was hard to describe, made the Carlo thief soul in Nian'an tremble. Your servant Xiaoyao greets His Majesty the Emperor of the Ming Dynasty. In front of Xiaoyao, Nian'an had never revealed her identity. Even when she was sent to the palace, this was the first time she saw her original appearance. Xiaoyao always thought that Nian'an was a member of the Ming Dynasty royal family. I want you to bring back the woman brought back by the master of the Soul Tower. She must know what you know, understand? After hearing Nian'an's words, Xiaoyao breathed a sigh of relief. Ayin was thrown to Xiaoyao by Nian'an. Nian'an never believed that Ayin had forgotten everything, what Tianxing and what Tianxing. Whether it was temporary or real, Nian'an didn't know. In fact, this was not without vigilance. The next few months passed peacefully, and the Ming Empire steadily improved, with a population of 12 million. But at this point, it seemed to have reached a bottleneck and it was difficult to make any breakthroughs. Until one day. Urgent report. Yesterday, the Sunday and Moon continent raided our Ming Empire's maritime military base, and our Ming Empire's maritime military base suffered heavy losses. General Xiaoyao request to send troops to the Sunday and Moon continent. Chapter 147. Counterattack against Sunday and Moon. Chapter 148. Counterattack against Sunday and Moon. Bang. Upon hearing the news, Nian'an slammed the table and stood up. Sunday and Moon continent sneak attacked the Ming Empire's maritime military base, Shangri Island, and suffered heavy losses. Taking over the list of losses, Nian'an narrowed his eyes. The number of civilian casualties, 999, the number of wounded soldiers 52, and the number of officers and soldiers killed, 0. This is really a lot of casualties. But this is normal. Most of the soldiers stationed in that military base, basically they are dragon guards. Even before awakening the martial soul, the strength before awakening the soul power is the peak state of human beings. Now that the martial soul has been awakened, and there is soul power, the first soul ring is a purple 1000-year, and the strength is still above the great snow dragon rider. At the same time and at the same level, the dragon guard has already produced a soul saint, which can be seen from the powerfulness of the dragon guard. Under such a level, the Sunday and Moon continent sneak attack the military base of the Ming Empire, and it is conceivable what the result will be. However, Xiaoyao deliberately wrote the 4 words heavy losses in the battle report, and the meaning is very clear. Nian'an directly issued a notice. In an instant, all the monitors in the entire Ming city showed a moment of silence, and the blood-red national flag of the Ming Empire. Yesterday, the Ming Empire's naval base was attacked, and nearly 10,000 people died in a foreign country. Today is a sad day. The Ming Empire lowered its flag to half-mast to mourn for its compatriots overseas. The moment this notice appeared, the entire Ming city was shocked. At the same time, the United Nations meeting was instantly opened. On the mainland, other countries began to panic instantly. The Ming Empire was attacked. The first powerful country on the mainland, the Ming Empire was attacked by a powerful country, and the number of casualties was nearly 10,000. Who can be so brave? With the current strength of the Ming Empire, it should not be so easy to let the Ming Empire suffer such a heavy loss without making a sound, right? Could it be that the Ming Empire has discovered a new continent and a new civilization overseas? No, Nian'an, or the envoys of the Ming Empire, did not answer or respond to the doubts of other countries. Because the entire Ming Empire was in shock and confusion, and did not react at all. After reacting, they mourned in grief, and the atmosphere of the entire empire was extremely tense. It was like a sharp sword about to be shot out. 3 days later. When everyone reacted, they were deeply angry. It was not easy to be quiet for 2 days, and now someone is going to bully the Ming Empire again. In the Minqing Military Enlistment Office, the number of applicants exceeded 1 million in one day. Among this group of people, there are strong laborers in their prime, children who have just become adults, and even just 16 years old, not yet adults, and even 12-year-old teenagers. The entire Ming Empire is like a lion about to wake up. The Ministry of Industry of the Ming Empire, the Sunday and Moon Royal Soul Instructor Academy, warships were launched one after another, like dumplings. The empire is like a huge machine, with orderly division of labor and rapid operation and speeding up. In the past few years, officials who have been admitted to take office from Minqing have asked for orders to go to war one by one. The Ming Empire, under the oppression of many countries, has a strong military force. Under Nian'an's special guidance, they are particularly protective of their own people. They can fight and kill their own people, but it is not the turn of other countries to manage them. Now that the military base has been attacked and the losses are so great, before Nian'an has ordered special recruitment, more than 30% of the young men in the empire want to fight back in self-defense. These are the most loyal admirers of the Ming Empire, and everyone's loyalty is more than 80%. The Ming Palace. Nian'an has been paying close attention to the situation of the Ming Empire in the past few days. Seeing that the empire he built with his own hands is developing in the direction he wants, Nian'an nodded with satisfaction. In fact, the overseas war against the Sunday and Moon continent does not need them at all. But Nian'an still sent out this war report. Because, although they are not needed, they cannot be ignorant and cannot be forgotten. It is someone who resisted in front of them that brought them their happy life today. In Nian'an's eyes, forgetting is equal to betrayal. In short, Nian'an hopes to deepen their national pride and sense of belonging to the empire. July 1, 2634. 1 week after the Ming Empire's overseas military base was attacked, a letter was sent directly from the palace to the leader of the overseas military base. In the afternoon, the imperial edict arrived under the escort of the Ming Empire's newest warship, the Dongham ship. After a week of patience, Xiaoyao finally waited for the word he wanted. There was no other mess in the envelope. There was only the simplest word in the difficult-to-copy imperial edict. Accurate. July 1, 2634. The Ming Empire officially decided to send troops to the Sunday and Moon continent. History calls it the counterattack against the Sunday and Moon. At this time, the Sunday and Moon continent was complacent about the sneak attack on the overseas military base of the Ming Empire. Because this was their biggest victory since the invasion of the Sunday and Moon continent by the Japanese country. Before that, the Japanese country had declared war on the Sunday and Moon continent without declaration. Relying on the advanced technology stolen from the Ming Empire, the Sun-Moon continent was crushed. The Sun-Moon continent was defeated step by step. Even though it had hundreds of times more people than the other side, it was in vain. Seeing that more than half of the continent was about to be occupied, the population defecting to the country was more than the native people of the country. The two empires of the Sun-Moon continent finally found something wrong. The more they fought, the more people there were, and they could never finish fighting. After checking, they found that someone had betrayed and surrendered to the enemy. The two empires broke the Cold War. They gathered in the West Sea. The Emperor of the Great Sun Empire, Nian'an, and the Emperor of the Silver Moon Empire, Xiaoyao, officially gathered. Under the threat of the imminent demise of the Sun-Moon continent, the two empires retreated one after another. However, the old stubborn officials in the two empires still held their own opinions. For the sake of great unification, Nian'an of the Great Sun Empire burst into tears and gave a passionate speech. We live on the same continent, share the same faith, evil god, have the same hair color, skin, and even the same blood. We have the same ancestors, but with the development of civilization, we have split. Now, the Sunday and Moon continent is about to be invaded and destroyed. I, Nian'an, call for the unification of the continent. Benri is an island country, and he is a slave. He was just a dog under my Great Sun Empire before. Now that he has obtained some technology, he wants to kill his master. It depends on whether I, Nian'an, agree or not. One continent, two governments, isn't this a betrayal of the evil god? Now I call for the merger of Sunday and Moon, and the unification of the world. What can they use to fight us? If he dares to invade my Sunday and Moon continent, I dare to directly attack his hometown. Under Nian'an's passionate speech, the officials of the two empires were convinced and finally voted helplessly. On that day, the sun and moon married, the two empires merged, Eastern Standard Time established Mindu, and planned to attack Yoga Island that shocked Mingwei, and achieved great results. They thought that by attacking Benri's hometown, they could make Benri evacuate Sunday and Moon, but they didn't know that a greater disaster was coming. Just as they couldn't imagine why such a small island country had such advanced technology, they also couldn't imagine that the entire island nation had moved away from Xiaoyao Island long ago, and Xiaoyao Island had long since become an overseas military base of the Ming Empire. Chapter 148 Sunday and Moon. Yesterday I put my hands in my pockets and didn't know what an opponent was. Chapter 149 Sunday and Moon. Yesterday I put my hands in my pockets and didn't know what an opponent was. Today I am confused and can't find an opponent to attack. The successful sneak attack on the overseas military base of the Ming Empire, Xiaoyao Island, made the two newly merged empires very happy. They thought they had found the real way to use the empire and celebrated. The Sunday and Moon Empire was officially established. The capital was set on the west coast, Mingdu. While they were happy and enjoying the fact that the Sunday and Moon Empire could defeat the invader Benri. In the east, a touch of fish belly white slowly rose, and the originally calm sea surface suddenly broke. A huge warship slowly appeared, with an exquisite industrial assembly line beauty, hanging a shocking missile on it, flashing red light from time to time, and containing terrifying energy. This missile is not something else, it is the Ming Empire's national defensive missile, Befeng. A 7th level soul guide, a benchmark soul saint. And missiles like this are densely packed on this huge warship. A rough scan without counting knows that there are more than 100. The huge sun and moon flag fluttered on the warship. Not long after this warship appeared, a number of smaller, extremely fast warships broke through the sea and quickly rushed towards the land of the Sunday and Moon continent ahead. There were so many ships that it was impossible to see the end. As time went by, there were more and more ships, and they were getting closer and closer to the land of the Sunday and Moon continent. On the east coast of the Sunday and Moon continent, Tianxing City. Shortly after dawn, the sentry on the sentry tower yawned, waiting for his teammates to take turns. But while he was rubbing his eyes, a dense fleet in the distant sky came into view. The sentry took a breath of cold air and sounded the alarm without any hesitation. Ding ding ding. The alarm operator in the alarm room heard the alarm ringing in his ears, and without any hesitation, he skillfully pressed the complicated buttons one by one. After a while, the whole Tianxing city was filled with loud alarms. Woo 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 woo. Quick. 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 Gather, the enemy is coming. With the call, the soldiers hurriedly put on their cloth armor, took up their spears and gathered. The training was very well trained, as if they had practiced it countless times. 10 minutes, all the soldiers stood on the wall of Tianxing City. Tianxing City has a long wall that runs through the entire territory. These walls were originally built by the Great Sun Empire to resist the attacks of pirates from time to time. In fact, Tianxing City is an island, but it is close to the Sunday and Moon continent, and it has special strategic significance. The Great Sun Empire has placed a lot of troops here. 100,000. A full 100,000 well-trained troops. Because of the invasion of the Sunday and Moon continent by Japan, the Tianxing City with special strategic significance is always ready for the enemy to attack the city. This is how they can gather and defend the city in a very short time. It can be said that the city lord of Tianxing City already knew that he would be attacked, and the only thing missing was someone coming. However, the people who came this time were beyond his imagination. See, overseas troops. Didn't the main country of Benri pull its main forces to the Sun-Moon continent? How could they still have so many troops at sea, and wasn't Benri's homeland just attacked? Could it be that they have no way to retreat and choose to fight to the death with the Sun-Moon continent? Questions emerged in the mind of the Lord of Tianxing City, and no one answered his questions. On the main ship, General Xiaoyao, Tianxing City is ahead. Tianxing City is the closest island to Xiaoyao Island. It is very large, more than 10 times larger than Xiaoyao Island. In the military plan of the Ming Empire, the self-defense or counter-attack against Sunday and Moon must take Tianxing City as a transportation point for the Ming Empire, so that even the soldiers transferred from the military base can have a good rest. There is no need to worry about being attacked from time to time and fighting guerrilla warfare. The city gates are closed and the whole city is under strict control. It seems that we have been discovered. Putting away the expression on his face, Xiaoyao's eyes flashed with a cold murderous intent. How many years have passed? No one has dared to attack the Ming Empire. The sudden attack from the Sun Moon continent was like a slap in the face. Xiaoyao's breath was stuck in his throat. If he hadn't asked Nian'an for permission to send troops, he would have led the Dragon Guard to attack. Now that he finally got this opportunity, Xiaoyao must vent his anger for a week. Go to Befeng, 10 rounds per round, 10 rounds. After hearing Xiaoyao's words, Befeng on the main ship, the huge missiles began to move slowly. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. 3 minutes later, the first round was ready and launched instantly. Bang. 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 The sky was instantly streaked with hot white scales, and exploded instantly after reaching the target point. Ah. Boom. My hand, my hand. In the moment after the first round, Tianxing City suffered more than 10,000 casualties. 10 large caves appeared on the huge Tianxing City wall. The people standing on these 10 caves were directly blasted into dust by the 7th level fixed-type soul guide cannons. People within 100 meters were directly blown away, and those within a kilometer had their internal organs ruptured. The powerful north wind directly crushed the war. Before the war started, the mayor of Tianxing City was dumbfounded. What's going on? Why is it like this? A meteorite fell from the sky. While he was still confused, the second round of north wind was ready on the main ship. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. As the sound of breaking through the air rang out, the mayor of Tianxing City understood this time that a small thing flew out from the iron lump on the sea, and then exploded directly, and his side fell down piece by piece. Quick, go and report to the Lord of Sunday and Moon. Tianxing City was attacked. The enemy used some kind of weapon and blew open the gate to Tianxing City. General Xiaoyao, after 2 rounds of north wind, the army stationed in Tianxing City has been in chaos and no longer poses any threat to our army. Xiaoyao listened to his subordinate's report without any emotion in his eyes. He couldn't help but think of the scene 5 or 6 years ago when he was guarding Gilai City and 100,000 dragon guards fell beside him one by one. Keep fighting, even if there is still a dog in Tianxing City, you have to finish these 10 rounds. Those who offend the Ming dynasty will be punished no matter how far away they are. In order to execute Nian'an's orders, Xiaoyao killed 300,000 people, or indirectly because of him. If there are too many lice, they are not afraid of bites, and these hundreds of thousands are not a big deal. This time, I will not give you the opportunity to damage my Ming army. Bang. Hearing Xiaoyao's words, the dragon guards carried out the order without hesitation. In their eyes, anyone who offended the Ming Empire must die, no matter the old, weak, women or children. The enemy's blood would not be left with a trace. Boom. 100 rounds of north wind directly covered every inch of Tianxing City. Not to mention the army in Tianxing City, even the people in Tianxing City died in the bombing of the north wind. The fragments were scattered in every inch of Tianxing City. Sunday and Moon. Yesterday I put my hands in my pockets and didn't know what the opponent was. Today, I put my hands on my head and couldn't find the opponent to attack. Chapter 149. Marriage. An hour later. The dragon guards wearing gold and dragon armor slowly landed on the island. The Ming Empire successfully captured Tianxing City without losing a single soldier. Not to mention the loss of a single soldier, the soldiers of Tianxing City did not even see the army of the Ming Empire. It was purely technological crushing. And it was a serious one-sided crushing, which was simply unbearable to watch. Xiaoyao walked down from the main battleship and stepped on the land again. Xiaoyao stared at the huge island in front of him, which was filled with smoke, and a satisfied smile appeared on his face. His Majesty the Emperor of the Ming Dynasty is merciful. Lay down your weapons and surrender. Tianxing City had been destroyed beyond recognition. Repairing it requires a lot of manpower, and this kind of hard work is naturally impossible for the people of the Ming Empire to do. Those who can survive 10 rounds of bombing by the north wind are lucky. Xiaoyao does not want to kill them all, mainly because there are not enough people. The army scattered, looking for survivors in this battlefield filled with smoke. Puff. But sometimes there were also sounds of finishing blows. These were people with broken arms and legs, completely unable to move, or people who had suffered serious internal injuries. Even if they were cured, they would not be able to work. In order to solve the suffering of this group of people, the army of the Ming Empire would directly finish off the wounds. Hoho. In the corner of a collapsed house somewhere, bursts of violent gasps suddenly rang out. It's over. The collapsed ground began to rise and fall slowly, and soon, a person with long golden hair, a bleak face, a broken left hand and the right leg slowly climbed out of the ruins. He glanced around himself, looked at his broken arms and legs, and suddenly lowered his head. Frustrated, extremely frustrated. This battle was the most speechless one he had ever fought. The enemy didn't even see it, and his army and even the people guarding behind the army were all blown up. He himself was also directly blown off one hand and one foot because he didn't dodge the 2 bombs in time. Tap tap tap. The crisp sound of footsteps rang out. Those who surrender will not be killed. A hand instantly touched his shoulder, and his long golden hair was suddenly stirred up by a soul power. The man raised his head slightly, and a pair of eyes full of hatred and bloody murderous intent appeared instantly. A huge force directly threw the dragon guard behind him in front of him. The man opened his hand, and the next moment, a green longsword suddenly appeared. Yellow, purple, blab, blab, 2 yellow, 2 purple, and 3 blab, 7 soul rings flashed, and the longsword in his hand suddenly became larger, stabbing directly at the chest of the snow dragon right under him. Compensate for the millions of people in Donghai City. Bang! It was about to pierce the chest of the dragon guard, and the next moment, the black 10,000-year soul ring flashed, and the dragon pattern shield instantly condensed. The moment the sword and shield collided, sparks flew. Looking at the dragon guard under him, especially the soul power that burst out from the other party, the man was completely shocked. Soul Emperor. I don't know if the broken arms and legs affected the other party, or if the dragon guard's strength is really strong. With the soul power of the Soul Emperor, he forced the man to retreat step by step. Bang! In the end, the man was repelled by the dragon guard. The man was unwilling to stand up, but suddenly a group of sharp golden swords appeared. He didn't know when he was surrounded. Moreover, the man was shocked beyond words when he felt the terrifying soul power in the bodies of the people around him. How is this possible? Damn Benri country, if it weren't for the support of my great Sun Empire, you would still be a group of Japanese pirates, living on fishing, with no food to eat, and no clothes to cover your body. Now you damn beasts dare to kill the master. Long live the great Sun Empire, long live the Sunday and Moon Empire. It can be seen that this soul saint highly respects and is loyal to the great Sun Empire and the Sunday and Moon Empire that had just merged. Ahem, let me explain, we are not from Benri country. Swish. The next moment a huge sun and moon flag suddenly rose. Surrounded by many dragon guards, Xiaoyao slowly walked from a distance. No, not from Benri, Soul Saint was shocked. After the surprise, he was deeply angry. If you are not from Benri, why did you attack and invade my Tianxing city? Do you know what you have done? Hundreds of thousands of people died in your invasion. After hearing what Soul Saint said, Xiaoyao smiled. Of course I know what I am doing. Didn't you sneak attack my Ming Empire a week ago? Ming Empire? A week ago, Soul Saint's expression gradually changed from recollection to shock. His eyes swept over many well-trained and powerful dragon guards, and his eyes slowly revealed a despair and sadness. A small Benri country has already made the 2 empires of the Sunday and Moon continent unite to deal with it. Now there is an even more powerful Ming Empire. And this enemy is the Sunday and Moon Empire, which was just established not long ago, and it provoked itself. Chen Jiani has guarded Tianxing City for more than 20 years and has never been defeated. Today, I have failed the elders and folks of Tianxing and let your children lose the battle with me. I, Chen Jiani, have no face to live in the world anymore. I have no choice but to die. I want to make it clear to you that as long as the people in the city are here, no one in the city will die. Although I die today, I am still Chen Jiani of Donghai. Puff. The blood was a little dazzling under the sunlight. Chen Jiani, the lord of Donghai City, committed suicide in front of many dragon guards. Looking at Chen Jiani, Xiaoyao couldn't help but think of the day in Gilai City. In fact, he also had the idea of fighting and dying that day. For the Ming Empire, for the millions of people behind the Ming Empire. It's a talent, but it's a pity. Turning his head, Xiaoyao's eyes gradually became firm. If you are not from the Ming Empire, you belong to other races. After all, those who are not of my race must have different hearts. For the Ming Empire for thousands of years, he must be ruthless. Ding, the progress of the achievement task of the Empire of the Sun never sets, 10%. Ming Empire's Nian'an was practicing, and suddenly a cold reminder sounded in his mind. He opened his eyes slowly. The glory of the Empire of the Sun never sets. The land where the sun shines is the land of the Ming dynasty. It seems that Xiaoyao, who is far away in the Sun and Moon continent, should have gained something. Nian'an thought about it, and then gave the order without any hesitation. Abandon all the conditions for negotiation, and make the unification of the Sun and Moon the first goal. No one can stop it. Execute first and report later, the imperial power has granted. On the other side, as soon as Donghai City lost contact, the Sun and Moon Empire sent people to find out, but unexpectedly saw many wounded. From the mouths of these wounded, they learned that Donghai City was attacked and occupied, and the attacker was still a superpower, which was estimated to be more powerful than Japan. As for why they attacked the Sun and Moon continent, it was purely because a week ago, the Sun and Moon Empire attacked Xiaoyao Island, the military base of the Ming Empire. Hearing this news, Zhu Ran, who had just completed the unification of the two empires, was stunned. What? We made a mistake in our sneak attack and provoked a more powerful empire. It only took the other side 1 hour, and the East Sea City and the entire East Coast fell. On the other side, the king of Tianxing Kingdom also received the news that the Ming Empire joined the Sun and Moon battlefield. After understanding the whole story, he was directly shocked. The Sun and Moon continent sneak attacked the Ming Empire. Zhu Ran and Tianxing Kingdom thought about whether they could win over the Ming Empire, or contain it, so that they would not join the Sun and Moon battlefield for the time being. After all, neither the Sun and Moon Empire nor Tianxing Kingdom has the ability to fight two at one. And the solution they came up with is marriage. Chapter 150 The Ming Dynasty's Ancestral Precepts. P.S. Time is running out, please allow the author to post first and correct the typos later. Refresh after 10 minutes. If this prompt disappears, it means that the author's typos have been corrected. Thank you for your support. Chapter 151. The Ancestral Precepts of the Ming Dynasty. The moment the idea of marriage came up, Benri took action instantly. I don't know if it was Benri's unique servility or knowing the strength of the Ming Empire, they didn't dare to have the slightest hesitation or arrogant thoughts. On the second day after the Ming Empire joined the Sun and Moon battlefield, they sent a special envoy to Tianxing City. On the other side, Benri was not the only one who wanted to win over the Ming Empire and stabilize the Ming Empire through marriage. On the Sun and Moon continent, the two empires that had just merged not long ago, the civil servants made careful calculations, plus the actual situation of the Sun and Moon Empire, and gave the best suggestions. The marriage will first delay the Ming Empire, expel the defeated Benri first, and recapture the territory, restore the glory of the Sun and Moon and then draw the sword to the Ming Empire. It's not too late to take revenge. No. Absolutely not. You and I are originally from the Sun and Moon people. Now the Sun and Moon continent is in trouble. For the unification of the continent, the two empires are united and the marriage is understandable, but why does the Ming Empire do that? The moment the idea of marriage appeared, it was directly rejected by the Silver Moon King and many upright generals. In fact, many people have an idea in their hearts. Those who are not of my race must have different hearts. This is the inexplicable resistance of the locals to outsiders. What's more, the two empires have just merged and unified not long ago, and the Sun and Moon continent was invaded. This period of time is when the national integrity is the strongest. Using women in exchange for peace, anyone with a little backbone cannot accept it. King Yanyu, do you know how many troops our country has now on our Sun Moon continent? Do you know how long it took the Ming Empire to capture Tianxing City and even the entire East Coast? It took less than 2.5 hours from the time the alarm was sounded to the time we landed on the island and occupied the entire East Coast. 2.5 hours is not enough for you to take a carriage and go around the entire Ming city. Do you know what this means? The civil servants were the first, and an old man in a red robe slowly walked out. He glared at King Yanyu. If it were possible, who would want the children of our Sun Moon continent to be slaves and servants for others? If it were possible, who would be willing to give their precious pearls to others to play with in exchange for a short period of peace? At this point, the old man slowly lowered his head. We all don't want to, but this is the reality. The Sun Moon Empire has just been established and it will take time to grow. Please be more patient. Peace bought with women will not last long. In fact, many people in this hall know this. However, this is the reality. In addition to this method, the Sun Moon Empire has no other way to solve it now. On the main seat, the golden light flickered slightly, and Zhu Ran slowly opened his eyes. Under him, the golden dragon throne was emitting the shining sunlight. Okay, for the great cause, for the sake of unification, I will go to Tianxing City in 1 hour. Zhu Ran spoke, laying the foundation for the final outcome. There is no way. The pressure on the Sun and Moon continent is already great enough. Now there is the Great Ming Empire. The Great Sun Empire or the Silver Moon Empire can hardly defeat one unilaterally. If there is another one, if they fight on 2 fronts, the Sun and Moon Empire will have already decided the outcome without fighting. Zhu Yukong, can our soul guides really develop to that epoch-making level? Among the generals, an old man in silver armor suddenly raised his head. Your Majesty. According to my understanding, soul guide cannons can reach that level when they develop to a certain level, just like the current Great Ming Empire, they probably use this kind of large-scale lethal weapon. After hearing Zhu Yukong's words, Zhu Ran narrowed his eyes. From now on, all weapon refiners, soul masters, in the Empire are called to went to the capital to enjoy the courtesy and generous treatment of the country's heroes. Together, we will build our own mushroom bombs for the Sun Moon Empire. The term Soul Master has only just become popular in the Sun Moon Empire. Before that, they were all weapon refiners. The next morning, the Sun Moon Empire also sent out its own envoys. 3 days later, the envoys of Benri arrived first, and on the same day, the envoys of the Sun Moon Empire also came. Report, General Zhu, the envoys of Benri and the Sun Moon Empire are here. Tianxing City had long been razed to the ground by the 100 Beifeng missiles, and now a large number of tent camps surrounded the original Tianxing City. In the center of Tianxing City, countless people were working hard to build houses. The Great Wall that was shattered was also trying its best to make up for it at this time. This made Zhu feel for the first time the trouble of too much firepower. The attack was too fierce, and it would take time to recover. However, fortunately, there were no casualties this time. Hearing the news from his subordinates, Zhu looked at the battlefield in front of him without turning his head. No. If it were any other time, Zhu might have considered it, but now. Zhu, holding Nian'an's imperial edict, didn't even raise his head. General, they said, they are here for a marriage. Hearing the word marriage, Zhu paused, turned around slowly, and his eyes showed an interested light. Bring them in. If they just wanted to win me over, then Zhu would naturally ignore everything. But, it was about the marriage of the Ming Empire. Although the Emperor of the Ming dynasty gave him the power to act first and report later, Zhu knew what he could do and what he couldn't do. Obviously, marriage, such a thing as other countries sending beautiful women, was not something he could directly intervene in. At least, the intervention should not be so obvious. Zhu recalled that it seemed that people from other countries had given Nian'an 9 top-quality cat girls before. It was rumored that these 9 top-quality cat girls were extremely loved by Nian'an in the palace. Maybe there were the following 9, 18, and 27. Soon, the envoys of both sides entered Zhu's military camp. The military camp was full of military maps of the Sun and Moon continent, which were covered with various cities and which forces they were directly affiliated with. There was no mistake. In the eyes of the envoys of the 2 major countries, this represented that the Ming Empire was extremely familiar with the current Sun and Moon battlefield. General Zhu, I am here on behalf of my Emperor Benai to ask for the marriage of the respected and noble Emperor of the Ming Empire behind you. This is our Princess Tianping, the first princess of my Benai country. Swish. A picture unfolded and a woman with a pale face, wearing a kimono and wearing strange makeup appeared. On the other side, after hearing the words of the envoy of Benai country, the envoy of the Sun and Moon Empire frowned. I am here on behalf of the Sun and Moon Empire to ask for the marriage of the Emperor of the Ming Empire and, the next day, Nian'an had several pieces of paper in his hand. He opened the paper and took a quick look at it, then threw it on the ground without even looking at the 2 scrolls. It seems necessary to leave something for my descendants. July 2634, Ming History Records. Ming Shi Wang, the founder of the Ming Empire, set down ancestral precepts for his descendants. From now on, the Ming Empire, from the emperor to the common people, must respect it. No marriage. No compensation. No cession of land. No tribute. The emperor guards the country's borders. The king dies for the country. If there are treacherous ministers in the court, the princes of all the places can lead their troops to Beijing, serve the emperor and eliminate the traitors, and ensure the Ming dynasty, which will be passed down for thousands of generations. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.